want to check there?
I'm on it. Use me. I think it's a new link. Can we use the UG computer? Do you know why the stream went down? Oh, like a riverside thing? Okay. I'm glad that this one was those Pro Tour, because I definitely need to run up the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
He's messaging with us. Did the screen pop. It looks like this.
Well, Riverside dropped completely, so I don't know if we're...
It's giving... That's a joke just for me. First one all day.
You've piqued my curiosity. Yammed? Oh no. She ain't gonna be happy about that.
Oh my god,
Ugh, conflicted. Conflicted, Ella. Josh is the one who's like converting me to tie-in. I don't know how I feel about this.
It's just like each time he talks about it, I get like 1% more sure I don't want to play against him, and 1% more sure that I do want to play tie-in. It's the lines they talk about or the hands. I'm like, that's so cool. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we were talking about just like instead of like Crypto Phantasm for Ristic, just Nazis. Yeah. Oh, thanks, big guy.
Okay, we are live. Okay, great. Tiny Bones is a cool Magic card. Anyways.
Tony, tiny, skinny.
Yeah.
Bones.
Yeah. All right, we're getting where we're going with this. We get the plot of the narrative here.
I was falling asleep with my son. Get it with salt, I cracked it. Reddit needs to know. If you have protection from your correct record, all your spells are belong to you. That's all. I've never seen one once in America.
Yeah. In the time that the stream has dropped and is back up, I found out that my wife is currently being beaten up by a tie-am deck. But it's tough because it's also by the pilot who's convincing me to play tie-am, so I'm feeling a lot of conflict. I am going to still side with my wife because that'd be crazy otherwise.
I mean, there's something to be said about the enemy of my enemy or my deck. If you want to talk about the complicated relationship with cEDH, exactly. Yeah, like she's talking to me, man, the auto units are so good. I'm like, what was it?
And how did it go?
And they mulliganed for what?
Yeah. It was really funny. Like, so the new we were talking about, I made that deck right? And it was like an afterthought, right? And I very much heard it was like Manador turn 1, change the Magic Stop lead into a Sylvan Safekeeper turn 2, into an Oppo turn 3, into like a Fabro after that, and I was like, okay, by the time I played time, everyone was like, please, we are dead, kill us. Like, he just put us in the ground, and I was like, like it awoke something in me, and that reminded me of when I started. Yeah. Like when I first played this format, I was like, I'm home, I'm back.
And you're just like pretending of infinite mana, so I better do in good faith concede. I don't want to play this game anymore. My turn 1 dish is not doing good into this.
Into the chains of Mephistopheles. Yeah.
Man, it was not worth commentary.
For those who do not know how chains works, TLDR, it makes draw card bad.
Yeah, and usually draw card good.
Yeah, draw card very good for cEDH. Draw card bad, very bad for draw card.
Mucho bad.
Mucho bad.
Yeah, but thank you guys for sticking with us this week. Yeah, and huge shout out to our stream team. It's a combination of Hazen and Logan, and you guys can't see it because our back is to the wall. But with the amount that they've been running back and forth, I feel very confident saying they are the ones who are working quickly to solve a lot of problems. And huge shout out to them because it would not happen without them. Hazen's rolling his eyes. I'm pretty sure it's sarcasm though. I'm learning how to read that. Okay, yeah. See, he also did he did one of the faces that I practice in the mirror.
You practice the Scooby-Doo face? But Robinson. There's 40 minutes left. Help us.
We saw a lot of games that were flawed, and most of them I think were relatively good games. There were
The thing is, it would have
somewhere there's something
just hand me the hat, I believe.
Is
That
their
was Tyler.
birthday?
Yes.
Happy birthday!
They specifically did not hear you. That's a tough time. Stuff.
That's wild. Why are they talking to someone who's not wearing that? Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's so weird. We're wearing pretty hats.
I would never do that on my own. But then this last game, we were hoping for a win. It was interesting to see because it is not the way I would have expected that game. Mulligans. Team Dargo kept a relatively aggressive hand with combo piece in the hand, also handle. So I wouldn't expect to see them cross the finish line first. But we saw cEDH hope to last long enough to get enduring vitality and have it out. We saw Atlas go for a relatively risky play that could have resulted in a turn 3 Ristic plus Wither Tide with one in hand. What ended up getting there was Kenny got lucky with fish. They also drew a counter spell for the Goblin Bombardment that's going to hit their board, and then they drew a Basalt Monolith, and they already had the Nature's Rhythm in hand, so they just went and got a Thrasios, and they even were able to pay for this.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
I wish I could do that. So I believe that was the close of our 5th round. So we have one more left, then it's going to be kind of the end of the day. I don't know if we're going to publish standings or not. That's going to be a tier thing. We'll get that information for you guys later. Don't want to give any misinformation. Because even as casters, we can take care of these too. But it's been a pretty cool tournament so far. I'm really excited to see what happens in the 6th round. It's do or die time for so many players.
Yeah, agreed. I gotta say, I'm a little bit underwhelmed with the spice today. I feel like we've seen a lot of kind of textbook decks, right? I think Ashling was cool, and that was a unique one to see. But I feel like I haven't been seeing people cook at the top tables, and I don't know if everybody's just locked into draw hell and we're not seeing that much of the metagame, or and to be fair, you guys have 2 double ups on players just because of random coincidences. For context, we are picking players we are expecting to and excited to see in pods, and we're just getting whoever's playing. So. Yeah. And if you guys are not all it says pod 1 and these are not the players we are specifically curating pods for people who need to keep playing them, right? And despite the first couple rounds we spent today, everyone in those pods is in a position that they still need to win games, right? And so we probably won't feature pod 1 and those types of pods until we go into our quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, because those players are locked in, they're ready to go. Yeah, some of them may or may not be fighting for top 8, but also some of them take the easy way and be like, it's close enough. I'm going to have a good seat in top 40 and enjoy it. Right? And so we can't really, as we mentioned before the start of last round, we can't really bet. Whereas I'd rather bet on people who, next round are walking with 7 or 8 points and go, Magic's got to be wrong. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no ambiguity. They have to start winning games.
Only butts here are butts and seats. Everything else is here. I'm gonna win. Which that's what you need. Last round is absolutely. And there's definitely going to be a lot of players fighting for it. But I know it's something that we'll see. Sometimes people will mention in the comments is why don't we switch on pod or something like that. That's primarily due to like the technical difficulty
Yeah.
of what it takes to move the setup. As well as respecting like I don't know how I would feel if like I'm trying to set
Yeah.
up supposed to 2 to 4 reveal silence, and then someone walks in with this giant camera rig, and they're like, "You're okay if I get slapped laughing, right?"
Yeah, this has also happened in the past before too, where folks have tried to pick up games and bring them to the feature match area, and I've seen it done once or twice, and it is perhaps the most messy and disruptive and aggressive thing that I've ever seen, because people will be in the zone, and they're like, hey, pick up your entire board state, your entire deck box, and also don't mess up what lands are tapped and untapped, and then what's in your graveyard and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, TLDR, it doesn't work. So we're happy to vamp, we're happy to talk with you, chat. Happy to do all that kind of stuff. So going into this next round, what are you expecting to see? Are you expecting to see more mid-range? Do you think that... Because I think we are seeing a little bit more of a more proactive kick for a lot of these decks, but there's still definitely, like, Kinnons are doing really, really well over the course of this tournament. I feel like we have a Kinnon in first seed, I believe, right now. And obviously we just saw Kinnon clean up around there, so obviously that deck's doing pretty well. Not a big surprise, one of the best decks in the format. I'm seeing very low amounts of farm, too. Right?
That's something that I actually heard about the Portland meta coming in, is that there's not a ton of farm and not a lot of Rogsai. We have seen some Rogsai on the stream here, but I know some of them I think are like out-of-towners.
Funny enough, do you know who is probably one of the most prolific blue farm players on this coast?
Oh, man, that's... I feel like that's a loaded question. I don't know, who is it?
Our TO. So the reason you may not be seeing Blue Farm crushing it is because the person running the tournament is one of the most decorated Blue Farm players in the country.
He really threw me for a loop playing Gyruda at the midseason invitational. Because that means,
I did not know he did that.
Apparently he got incredibly unlucky too. So that means I've actually the TO is also Eric.
Yes, Eric B.
They're the kind of like brainchild behind Tap for Hope, a really great organization. And I guess it makes sense that they'd be a Blue Farm player because they are so good when it comes to like resource management. Very timely. They're also really good communicator. Just great, wonderful soul to talk to. But yeah, okay, I had to remember that because I was just spent so much time talking to him about Gyruda, and I forget that that's not like.
He cooks on Blue Farm. I think he's won, or at least top forward several times in the past like 3 months alone.
Good for them.
Maybe
that's like I don't know. Maybe it's like the effect of like everyone knows that there's like a really good Blue Farm pilot, and so they're like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna like be a worse them. I'd rather be a mediocre me.
That's fair. I would definitely subscribe to that idea, but also with the amount of Portland Kenriths, I don't necessarily know that that's the case either.
Like, come on, guys.
Like,
it's cool, but it's not.
Ooh, wow. I gotta say, coming in, 4th seat wins, 3rd seat win, 2nd seat win. Yeah, we're starting to see some diversification.
Good work, Evan Pierce from the 4th seat.
Waffleman, I think that's his 3rd win.
Work higher.
Hell yeah, love to see it. Hire's out here on big flips. Really fun because he's a TO in most times, so he doesn't actually get to out and like come and play these big events, right? He gets to play a few throughout the year, but this is one of the first events he's actually able to come out, actually get to run reps with his list and get some things done.
But I do want to answer your question. You mentioned what I think. I'm expecting to see either a lot of people keeping second sevens or going down to like 3 or 4. Because I think this is really going to show like our players the type who like it's a good enough hand. This gets me to turn 3. Or players who are like this gets me to turn 3 and it gets me to somewhere in the 60s or 70s in the standings. So I am not stopping until I get that Relic of Legend, that combo bombardment, or whatever combo piece they need. But what about you? Like if you were to kind of like cast your vision to the future, and you kind of like play pattern or
my hope is that we just see people giving it their all. Like legitimately, I think to see this round and see people sort of like fold into a draw Oblivion would be very sad. The one thing I really don't want to see, to be 100% frank, is people scooping people into top cut. It's been a thing that has happened a few times over the past year or so where I've seen it happen, where people are like, well, one of us should play. But at the same time, like, someone who actually won their games is going to get bubbled out. In those situations. And that's what I'm hoping to see, is someone give it their all. A pod of good interactive Magic and someone to take a win at the end of the day is my hope for prediction for the next round.
Yeah.
We'll see who we get to feature here in the channel. I'll see if we can also maybe snag a little interview in the meantime. We got a half an hour between this round and next, and might be fun to get some folks in here.
Heck yeah. So we'll take a short break, but don't worry, we're not going far.
Yeah.
And neither should you.
Yes.
We're going to bring some interviews for you guys. We're also definitely going to be browsing the roster, kind of stay updated with how standings are going. Because exactly like Ian was saying, we love to watch a good fight, and we know you guys do too.
Absolutely.
So our goal is to avoid pods where there's going to be IDs.
Yes, absolutely.
But also, we still want to get some really, really solid players in. We are just receiving words from our producers. Hang on. A moment of silence for Lua, who got yammed.
Yeah.
Every time Abzan beats Teamer, an angel loses its wings.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
It's true.
So we will be enforcing this moment of silence, but we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Give me that man double.
What's up, guys? I'm back. So, continuing this, we've had a pretty strong Eric streak here. We've had Eric casters, we've had Eric players, but we're hoping to bring in tournament organizer Eric. So I'm just hoping to confirm that the stream is live, that you guys can hear us.
You're getting close to time, like, you gotta go. It's already been a long time. Like I understand you have a lot of games, but I'm really sure. Okay? Especially when
I see Burrito King saying we lost around 15 to 20 minutes of footage through the fix. I will say the footage that we lost is the friends we made along the way. Oh, you guys can hear us. Okay, that's awesome. All right, I'm going to step out for a minute. But yeah, hopefully you'll be hearing from another Eric very soon.
All right. We are about to talk with the man himself, our tournament organizer here, Eric. Come on in. If it isn't the man in charge, how we doing, bud?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Good. It's been fun out here, man. We've been having a good time. It's
5 good rounds. How many draws out of the 5?
we finally got our first win last round. It was really good.
Dub's the dub. I think the cut might be looking at like 12.
Yeah, the 11-12 point debate has been really, really interesting, and it's interesting too because like there's been no precedent for this, right? We've never had 6-round top 40 cut. It's always been 7-round top 40 or 6-round top 16. I think that's a little good for you.
Thank you so much. We were originally thinking about 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And we were going to have kind of a live auction here on site, and we decided to move that to the platform. I'm sure it's been talked about. We have a silent auction on Zephy. Supporting Children's Cancer Association.
Absolutely.
So we decided to attribute back that 6th round, but we decided to keep the top 40 cut.
Yeah.
We thought it was kind of interesting, and a lot of tournaments haven't necessarily done that, but I'm a real believer of if you're going to make it to day 2, we want you to be live.
Yeah,
as well.
agreed.
And most tournaments do that, but sometimes the math, if it's
I totally
7
agree.
point round 2, day 2, sometimes it actually might not be feasible if there's a lot of missed draws.
And I think 5-round top 40 cut gets kind of messy really quick, So I think it was a really good spot. And we've actually talked about like 3 or 4 times over the stream today, just like the idea that like the people who know they're not in, they know they can go to bed, they can sign up for the redemption event if they want to, or they can just be goobers and enjoy their lobby con all night and have a great time. But
yeah, exactly. Letting them plan their next day. I mean, that's what we love. And these events are like usually a week-long endeavor, and we want to maximize people's time.
Absolutely. So tell us, I guess maybe a little bit about Tap for Hope, how we got here, and what inspired you to like do this whole thing, man.
Gosh, how we got here? How much time does the stream have?
We got like 20 minutes. How much time do you want to use?
So it's kind of interesting. So I just recently relocated to the West Coast from Philadelphia, actually, and that was like only 9 months ago, and moved here for my partner's program in medicine, and really didn't know anybody. Literally goose egg. 0 people in Oregon, and obviously being a Magic player and liking to gather, Magic was a great outlet for just meeting a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just leaning into cEDH, grinding tournaments. I'm a pretty competitive player, and fortunately that's helped make a lot of friends. And some of those friends, I made, we were decided like, well, we've always wanted to do something philanthropic in our hobbies. Yeah. And we're like, well, why don't we just do it? I'm going to start a charity. We talked about it. I've thought about it for a long time.
Right.
So we just leaned forward, did it. And part of that was planning not only the 501c3 Incorporated, which is Tap for Hope, but also like getting an event.
Yeah, dude.
So this event started planning, and for people that don't know anything, it's my first time, but 10 months ago.
Yeah.
10 months ago, I reached out to Ian. 10 months ago, I reached out to Evan.
Dude,
like, you don't know who I
feels
am.
like a blur, but like, it really has been that long.
And it's a diamond event, and the energy's electric.
I mean, 260 players, and like, I guarantee that so many of these players are here because they know what's behind this event, right? And I think it's so huge, and it's so amazing to see so many people show up, because like, we've had events on the West Coast before, but like, these numbers are rare, right? And it's really, really cool to see so many people here recognizing that this is for a great cause. And like, I mean, a million thanks to you guys for putting this together and to taking the time. Like, we were saying this earlier, like, this could have been a for-profit tournament, and you guys could have had an amazing weekend, and it could have been a windfall and all that stuff, but instead this is going to a cause that is going to genuinely change people's lives in such a positive way, right? And so it's just so refreshing to see.
I mean, it definitely takes and took a village, the amount of support, like, from the general cEDH community, bona fide creators like yourself, pillars of the community. Has just been absolutely awesome. I think everyone's looking forward to changing the Twitter discourse from Ristic slop to how much money this community's raised, which I think is a great thing to try and do. And like you said, in this region, I think the biggest event for cEDH specifically in the Pacific Northwest was like 120 people. I think SCG has gotten close to that number also when they come around in town. But 260 or 250, and doubling
crazy,
that,
man.
and delivering to players in this area not only an event that they haven't really been able to experience. I mean, 7 rounds, effectively Swiss before going to top 16. It's not a lot of. These players never had a tournament that long, so I hope they have their energy drinks or coffee or whatever. And then also being able to deliver personalities like yourself. People are fans of a lot of, our content creators that are pillars of our community, and there hasn't been necessarily a reason for a lot of you guys just to come out here from a big event. We're really happy to deliver that as well.
Absolutely. And I think like a lot of things really worked well to like have this all come together. But I think like there's such a drive and a passion for this type of thing, and it's really, really awesome to see, man. It's genuinely. I think there's so many. We're getting a lot of cEDH events, and the format continues to grow and improve. But I think it's different. Like, even the energy is different today. I was telling Eric between rounds, like, there's the significant difference with folks coming up to me And I've had the tournaments before where they're like, yeah, I'm on 2 losses right now, and like I'll get back in it, or like I'm not feeling too good about the event. But everyone today has said, I'm having a great time first. And I was like, how are you doing, like, record-wise? And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm on 2 losses. Yeah. But they're like, I'm having a great time. And that has led every single conversation. And to me, that says everything.
Yeah,
right?
I think that energy is permeating the air immensely here. Giving a different knack for what permeates in the air at Magic tournaments. We're trying to change.
I already did my deodorant PSA.
Yeah, we should get some deodorant sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just electric, and we've been, this community is growing in such a fast and I think wholesome and opening way, especially about the way our format enables play in certain aspects. But we even had on site people from Magic Online today here.
That's
talking
cool.
about cEDH, seeing how they can, grow their MTGO platform to enable the community as well. So
that's awesome.
It's just really good, positive energy and the right momentum we want to see for this game. And it's been amazing. It's really been amazing.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Genuinely, I think, from everyone out in the audience, we can say thank you for doing this. I think there's, as you mentioned, it's a whole village here, right? I think if we could thank each and every one of them individually.
There will be a long list.
Absolutely.
It's longer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think everyone should share that when they go around, because people deserve it. This has felt like an amazing event, just environmentally. It's organized really well. People are just happy to be here. And once again, it's all going to a good cause, right? It's not going to anyone's pockets at the end of the day, except for the people who are going to make an impact and change a lot of lives. So it's great, man.
Great. Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me on, Ian. And
absolutely.
Do we want to bring in Tess from Children's Cancer Association to maybe say a few words about really what we're supporting?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Tess, I'm going to tag you in. It's not a first video.
Welcome. Well, it's good to have you here, Tess. Do you want to talk about why we're all here today?
Yeah. So if you don't know what Children's Cancer Association is, we're a nonprofit that's been around for last year was our 30th year. And it was started by the Ellis family.
Yeah. No worries.
So the Ellis family's daughter was diagnosed with cancer when she was 4. And at the time, there weren't really a lot of programs that looked after palliative care, mental and emotional health.
Right.
So after she died, they kind of took it upon themselves to create that. And they started with a music program. Yeah. And then they started with a mentorship program after that. Yeah. And then they bought a property out at the Oregon coast. Yeah. To open up to families in treatment as a way of getting away from hospitals and having a place where they could create memories together. Yeah. So those 3 programs, JoyRx Music, JoyRx Mentorship, and JoyRx Nature, are kind of what make our organization really special.
That's awesome.
And then what we're here for specifically is the mentorship program.
Right.
So then through that program, people trained adult volunteers get paired one-on-one with children in the hospital. Yeah. And they're just there to be their buddy, So much of their time is spent feeling really isolated, scared, and alone.
Right.
Their families are going through that same stress alongside them. Yeah. So having a buddy come in and really just be there to...
Be there.
Yeah.
Be there. Yeah, absolutely.
And not sharing that same stress and emotional...
baggage.
Burden that they have is... It kind of always blows me away how much of a difference it makes. I became a mentor last year. Cool. And I talked about it all the time before that, the impact that it made. Yeah. But getting to see that myself firsthand, it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
I took some time to volunteer in high school at a camp for families with terminally ill relatives and things like that. And genuinely, it's one of those experiences that, like, unless you do it yourself, it is so hard to describe to people. But it's really fantastic. And the fact that there's so many people out here today just supporting this cause it's so inspirational.
It means so much. Yeah. And I think the biggest bit of feedback I get when I do community outreach events like this and table, people come up and they say, oh God, children's cancer, that's so sad, I could never do that. And my response is always, it's good to know your own boundaries. Yeah. And what you can and cannot give. Totally. Especially when you are trying to be there for a vulnerable child. Right. But what I will say is that this program specifically is so much centered around bringing joy and happiness that it's not about that sadness. Right. It's about making them laugh and giving them a bright spot where they might not have had that before.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's pretty magical.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And what a I don't know anyone here today who can't get behind that notion. It is absolutely fantastic. People are actively just making others' lives a happier, better place, right? And it's a very fantastic cause. So, I mean, from all of us here, right? I can't thank you enough. I can't thank Eric enough for throwing this.
Thank you for volunteering in that capacity.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's huge.
And genuinely, I think, as I said, if you don't get to experience something like that in your life, there's people out here today who are donating to make that happen, who are absolutely happy to make it happen, and it's just fantastic to watch. So thank you so much for jumping on, Tess. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Any last thoughts, questions on that stuff? No?
I don't think so.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Awesome, everybody. We are about done with round 5 here. So, as we mentioned, with a number of these things moving forward, so we are essentially sitting here with about 2 minutes left. Be the end of round 5, and then we are going into round 6, our last chance for any of our players to qualify either for the top 40 cut or to lock in their spot in the top 8. So we are definitely getting down to the buzzer, and we are seeing a lot of people as we start to scroll through these results here. There are a lot more light blue streaks. Like we mentioned here when Eric was here a bit earlier, people are starting to recognize that they do not have time to play a passive game. They have to start putting wins on the stack. They have to start hunting those victories when they're playing in these cEDH pods. There are a lot less draws than we saw last round, right? Round 5 looks a lot different than round 6 or round 4, pardon me. And I think that the exact need of these individuals is the result of that. And as we saw here these past couple interviews, players are out here for a really good cause. There is some really amazing, life-changing stuff going on out here. Amazing players out here for a great cause, and there is so much magic yet to be played. For those who are out today, there will be a redemption event tomorrow, which will be pretty cool for a lot of those players to be able to get a chance to jump back into the fray if today maybe didn't break super well for them. Pardon me. And then for those players who are advancing to top cut, we will have the semifinals in the morning. Once again, for a top 40 cut, if anyone's unfamiliar with that setup, top 8 is going to advance directly to the semifinals and be those first 8 seats, as in they're going to be seats 1 and 2 in all of the semifinal pods, and then seats 3 and 4 are going to be filled in from the winners of the 32 remaining players. So those 32 remaining players will play in 8 pods of 4. The winners of those matches will advance into the semifinals. Then obviously, like any standard format, 16 in the semifinals. The semifinals will advance to the finals, and then we'll go on from there. So this tournament's going to start narrowing down real quick, and this is everybody's last chance to win an in. We're having some tournament math talk a little bit ahead of time. It seems like somewhere in the 11, 12, 13 point range is where the top 40 breakers come down in. But as we mentioned with Eric and with Eric earlier, it's really hard to know exactly where these breakers are going to come down because 6th round top 40 cut is such unexplored territory. So we're really excited to try and get some pods in here. You know, we were debating on whether there's some 6-pointers that are up and ready to fight for their spot here, but we're not 100% sure if that fight is going to be a fruitful fight, so we'll probably get some folks in the 7 to 8 range. We want to make sure that if you are rooting for someone in the pod that we feature next round, we want them to hopefully be in the pod if they take a W. You know?
Yeah, especially like, I don't know, it's really sad to be in a position where like you fight for an hour and a half, just before time's called, you're able to get the win in, and you're like, I did it, 5 points, and they're all mine. Standings get published, and I'm 115th.
Yeah. And sometimes, you know, you go to the largest cEDH tournament ever, and you fight until the last minute, and you go on a comeback streak, and then you end in 17th as the only 20-point player. And sometimes those things happen too, and we would hate to see that here on camera.
Could be anyone.
Could be anybody. That's totally never happened to anyone here in the commentary booth. I'm gonna go wipe away some tears.
Yeah, pouring out for all the like, or I think like winning, you're winning in, but then losing on like breakers or like opponent win percentage. I have seen it as low as like someone with like 29.54 and someone with 29.53. Like it can be really, really close. And those are like those nail biters. I mean, it's gotta feel good for the person who wins the coin flip, but for the person who loses, they're like, I'm taking it apart.
Yeah. I think Frenzy at the Fall for me last winter was a 0.003% difference between me and 16th place. So, yeah, the nails have been bitten for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Very excited. We're getting there. We're getting down to the numbers. I might attempt to like walk the floor a little bit and see some of these decks in these last pods.
Absolutely.
I might be a bit of a spice detective right now.
Let's
go see if I can bet on a horse, you know?
Is that cumin? Is that a little bit of... Is that teamer?
Cumin and teamer, the classic spices.
Hell
yeah.
Apparently French cuisine uses a lot of both.
All right, this dog is going to go sniffing.
A lot of dog analogies today. I guess you can say we got that dog in us. Still going. How we doing, guys?
Yes.
Yes. I'm at 5 rounds for us. It's been 5 rounds for the players. For some of you guys, I know it's been 5 rounds. Thank you for the people who have stuck around the whole time. I know the last few people in the stream went down. But, you know, the few, the faithful, that's you guys. No Hako Paulden? No. Not as far as I'm aware. But I don't know. Maybe there is one. Whatever that command is called. You got me again, Joe. Actually, there used to be a player at our LGS who played a lot of that. I think it can do some really, really cool stuff. There also was a guy on Spell Table who would do some wild stuff. Oh, that's the way. Oh, that dog died with J-Lo. That's so sad. That's so sad. They got the brave little toaster treatment. But yeah, we've got, we're in overtime right now. Those who have been at tournaments before, as well as those who have spectated a lot of tournaments, know that especially at a tournament of this size, it is almost guaranteed to go to time every time. Sorry, people are asking if I think I'm going to win. And I'm telling them, no, I'm not going to win. I'm casting, guys. Come on, you know this. Are the table streams coming back next round? Yes. The judge staff has been very, very helpful for making sure that we get the pods super duper quick. Shout out to the judges. There's actually a moment earlier in stream where there was an illegal game action taken, and guys, you had to see it. But I called the judge over and I was like, hey, I think the situation, can you just go make sure that if the board state needs to be repaired, that we do so like really quickly. And they Barry Allen their way faster than the speed of light to that pod. So super duper grateful. As well as huge shout out to Hazen and Logan. I know that there's a lot of like tech stuff involved with like streaming and casting, and I would divulge a lot of the details for you, but the truth of the situation is I don't understand most of it. Most of it's above my head. And you know, seeing that I'm 5'10", 5'11", there's usually a lot of stuff over my head anyways, but I'm super, super grateful for their attentiveness and their ability to help keep things going. Fiesta says, how much to steal Austin's hat in the middle of next round? You'll replace it with yours. Great question. I will say, though, stealing someone's hat is part of the additional casting cost for Heartwood Storyteller. Hidden effect, a lot of people don't know. You've got to read the card very carefully to see it. And so I need those prerequisite conditions to be in place before I could perform such a game action. Dr. Moral Sport says, don't try to win next round. Well, the stream will crash again. My apologies. I won't. Oh, yo, what's up, Austin? Can you get in?
I'm not in.
Yeah,
I am. Hello, chat.
yeah. It's Austin. How many points are you at right now? 9. Okay. 14 can bubble. Yeah. Well, I'm rooting for you. I'm doing pretty good. We are. I can circle back. Stealing a hat is probably a kind of federal offense. Now, it's a national offense. Guaranteed. This is the Harwood prison. Cast Harwood, storyteller, straight to jail. Draw a Harwood storyteller, straight to jail. Saying Harwood storyteller guarantees draws in games, straight to jail, believe it or not. It's moments like this that the mind is prone to wander. Will Ristic get banned? Should I play Gaia's Cradle if I'm not playing a Rog Rec deck? Why is Kyle giving a thumbs up, and why does he seem so full and life and vitality? Well, let me at least answer that last question for you. He was on stream earlier, a Portland local. He's super excited because not only did he get to play on stream, but he gets to play in this tournament, the Quest, run by Tap for Hope. You may have heard people talk about it earlier. We know Ian was just interviewing some people. But the moral of the story, the moral of the storyteller, is that most of the money being made at this tournament is going to the Children's Cancer Institute. And so it is something I am very proud of and super grateful that I get to be a part of it. And you, just by watching, are part of it as well. So, in the same way that Kyle's giving it all with his thumb up, if you want to give to the stream, there's a QR code that you can scan and donate some money. Super duper grateful if you could, but not necessary. We're just happy to have you here if you are. Joe says, politics on OBM just take decades. Who's going to tell me pronounced centuries wrong? Fuzzy asking, is there a bad ROG partner? That's a great question. I think it'd be a shame to ruin it with a great answer. I'll let you guys ponder that one. Spam saying ROG Malcolm tag unbeatable. Some might say it is also unwinnable. Spam says he's speaking facts. Not to be pedantic, but technically what I'm speaking is words. Some people talking about Arden in the chat. Arden is a cool commander. One of my favorite interactions with Arden is with Skull Clamp. Not necessarily because you can equip Skull Clamp to your opponent's creatures, but more so because your opponents will always go, wait a minute, let me see the card. Fuzzy's saying Rod Kodama seems all right. Actually, I was talking with them earlier, and they say they're moderate. Someone asked, are you the Rog Arden guy? Actually, no, I'm Eric. This... Asking out of curiosity, not at all to indicate what may or may not be coming next. Does anyone have any strong opinions about Eldrazi?
I figured we could not go to Portland without featuring the Portland special. We featured one of the Portland specials, which is Kenrith.
Yeah.
We have to do the other. We just have to.
Yeah.
And specifically, it's a Zul'Arak on a win-in for top 40.
You can't
make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up.
Really can't.
So we may or may not be seeing some cascading.
Oh, that'd be so cool. I do love a good cascade.
Yeah. We played yesterday and against the Zul'Arak deck, and there was at one point I played a Scheming Fence out of Plagon to shut off his Thran Dynamo, and he goes, "Oh, okay." Candelabra plays the land that taps for 4 and then like untaps that 3 times, and he was like, "Well, yeah, the Thran Dynamo stopped," and I was like, "Kill me."
No. The Zul'Arak player's like, I'm trying!
Please, I'm trying to do something.
I'm trying to do something! Anyways, I'd like to respond to my trigger.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
No, I love a good, like the colorless or Eldrazi. I think they are like, the things they do are so powerful. But also, like, you really have to thread the needle, or else you're just going to build a really expensive Bragging 4 deck. And so, like, I think it takes, like, it takes a long time to, like, iron out and get it to, like, in shape in a way that can be really competitive in a tournament like this.
Yeah.
Where in a tournament of 250, 260 plus people, you are on a winning in. It takes time and attention that not a lot of cEDH players have patience for.
I agree completely.
I know something that we get a lot of questions about, whether it be in the comments or honestly even, y'all was talking earlier, it's something me and Hirschman comment. We'll talk about this idea of having, like, deck ADHD, where it's hard for us to spend more than, like, 2 or 3. Then, like, I don't know, some really cool guy takes Xyrus to a couple tournaments and does really well, and suddenly I'm like, I like Teamer.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking to myself, I play Rog a little too much. Maybe I should think sort of playing it up.
People keep drawing cards around me, and I just want to make some stakes.
So what if I was like, Ian, I want to, like, stick with the deck. I don't need to lock in the 90 or the 99.
Yeah.
But I want to prove in the way that you only can once you play a deck for a few weeks, for a month, for 2 months. I want to take this bad boy that's a little late in multiple tournaments.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have such a good time. What advice would you give me to help me stick with a deck?
Honestly, I think I've actually challenged the one deck philosophy a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's an outdated philosophy because I don't think about a lot of great players in this format. How many of them are one deck specialists? Versus how many of them are 2 deck players at that, right? So if you're going to hyper-focus on an archetype, it doesn't mean that archetype's always going to be well-positioned in the metagame, right? So like someone who's a Gitrog pilot, or let's not even say that. Let's say a Rogsai specialist, right? A Rogsai specialist 8 months ago, eating up dinner. They come out to California, they're here for Fishbowl, right?
Oh, I'm so full. I have so many... tournament points and store credit.
But yeah, then they go to Massachusetts for the Royal Rumble. Little kitties batting around like yarn. You know what I mean? And so for me, I think people should get 2 decks that just thrive in different environments, right?
Ooh.
Get decks that balance each other. Or 2 decks you like, and 2 decks you enjoy, and it's going to spark serotonin and make you want to keep playing Magic, right?
Yeah.
But you can have a specialty and experiment, but have a specialty, I think, is at the end of the day.
Yeah. That's fascinating, yeah.
Because I think so many people are so used to prescribing like one thing, but at the end of the day, you're going to resent doing the thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Like there is just a critical nexus, right? Like, and we've seen, like, I have decks that I come back to, right? Like, I come back to Plagon, I come back to Kinnan, I come back to Sisei, depending on the meta.
Yeah.
But I definitely have decks that are like in my roster, in my repertoire, right? But my thing is I change decks all the time, right? And I'm super happy to do so. I love doing that. But it doesn't mean that I don't have a safe space. I don't have a comfort zone to come back to, right?
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, that's a really helpful piece of advice. Because one, I think it relieves the pressure of like, I need one. I need to find a list.
Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, exactly.
This deck, it's never bad. It's always good.
Yeah.
And because, even in that situation, people might say, well, just play like Blue Farm or Cannon. But I think it's not uncommon at all for people to pick up Blue Farm, and then after a month, they'll be like, I'm kind of tired of tutoring for Smothering Type.
Dude, I cannot tell you how many times people have been like, hey, man, I tried Blue Farm, and if I play another game on that deck, I'm going to gouge my eyes out. Like, it's like, so stop doing it.
Yeah.
Don't do it anymore. There's so many decks that are of a comparable power level. Not explicitly comparable, but comparable, that do very similar things, like we were talking about earlier, 5-color suit. You can, like, do that and do it really well and still succeed and still perform, you know? It doesn't have to be the end-all, be-all just because one deck is prescriptively the most consistent. It's a format where, once again, we talked about this earlier today, you make up all the rules. cEDH is so made up in the best way.
That's so true.
like it is a format where if you are playing an Arkham Dagson, you can say, hey, I want to activate for 3 turns, and sometimes that could be correct. Like, that is just a thing at times, right? Those types of decisions, those types of thought patterns, disrupt them, right? Like, it is a format where you can do anything, and because it's a social format, there can't be a best deck officially that often. There can be a deck that is one of the most consistent. But, like, at a certain point, if something starts to become too good, everyone goes, hey, that's too good.
No.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, when people start buying in, like, one of the worst times to be playing is when people think Turbo's the best time to be playing, because they only double down. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing with stacks decks, though. Like, you can say in the inverse, people are, what's really good at beating at stacks? A deck like Winota. But, like, if you're one deck trying to play fast against 3 stacks decks, you're probably not going to have a good time either, right?
No story.
Yeah. So cEDH being a diverse format is actually really healthy for the metagame, because at the end of the day, the players count for a lot, too, you know? But yeah, definitely find a deck that you can build your strengths on, right? It doesn't have to be Blue Farm. Someone was talking about this earlier. They were like, oh, there's no meta decks that have, like, stuff like, in what world is Rogthras not a unique and weird deck?
Yeah.
Like, it's a deck that is trying to just tap a land for 20 mana all the time, and then win with weird creature combos where you bounce your own lands.
Yeah.
That's psychotic and cool, and something that everyone's just like, well, no. I mean, it's a meta deck, though. It's like, you only just don't think it's cool because you've seen it a bunch, right?
Or they'll be like, I thought he's basically solved just a Boar Priest Scholar that... And like, okay, it is a strong combo, and I do agree with you that once you play a lot of Rogthras, you may gravitate towards it, but also, like, no one's going to disagree with what a good Rogthras list is more than 2 Rogthras players talking to each other.
Dude, yes. No, and the same person who's constantly innovating on that deck is also the same person who discovered that archetype, right? I mean, we talked about this earlier. Anyone who says cEDH is solved is a goober. Like what a silly and ridiculous statement. Like, it is. We have 30,000 legal cards, chat. It's crazy.
And you're not a goofy goober, because those are cool.
Yeah.
I watched the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah.
I believe in goofy goobers, but no, you're just a goober if you're like...
I'm actually gonna do this right now.
Ranked
for
format,
chat in particular. I'm gonna look up how many cards are legal as commander right now in this format.
That'd be
just
fun.
Just to give an example of, if we think we've discovered everything, that is the greatest act of hubris. It's just true arrogance in all forms.
Pride, allow me to introduce you to the Fall.
yeah, exactly.
No, I do like that idea of, like, instead of finding one deck that's just the perfect deck, you never have to change anything again. Instead, trying to develop this kind of, like, bookend idea of like you have something that like is either over here in turbo and this is over here in stacks, and then you can kind of fluctuate how strong one or the other leans to each archetype. Or even like I just really like Breach and Brain Freeze, but I like playing Jeskai because I get access to like Sabine's Wreck, but I like playing Grixis because I get access to Necropons. So I like playing I like playing Rog Shy and Rog Sai.
Yeah.
My deck lists are only different by 2 letters. You know how cool is that?
2 letters, very different deck.
Yeah.
One loves the curse totem, one does not. So, take a guess right now, unprompted. How many legal commanders do you think there are in this format?
30. You said 30,000. I have to assume getting rid of lands, instants, sorceries. That probably puts us in the ballpark of. I mean, it is a pretty creature-heavy, especially early on. So maybe something like 10,000 creatures. And it's going to need to be legendary.
Yeah.
How many legendary creatures are there? I'm going to say 1,500.
2,986 legal commanders in this format.
Knocking on the door, 3K.
And listen, 1% of those can be good and still be a ridiculous amount of decks that are available.
Yeah, like what's the old joke of saying like, babe, I think you're 1 in a million. Response, you're saying I'm exactly like 107,000 other people?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, it's a small percentage, but like a really big number.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about context, right? It's all about context. Now, I do believe we have our final Swiss round pairings. I am
that's so exciting.
Ecstatic.
I
am very excited to see this. I am a huge fan of Mihai, who is our Zuladoc player. As mentioned, we've got some practice games in. We've talked before. They've done an interview on my channel. Someone who I think is just so fun to talk shop with in general. And very, very interesting to see them in this pod. They're going to be rocking that second seat here. Seems we have Rogthrax in seat 1.
Yeah.
A deck that we haven't been talking about for the past 5 minutes at all, which would be
Definitely
crazy.
haven't seen it on stream either.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, notably, these players...
There's a third one in seat 3.
Okay, there's another Rogthras. So double Rogthras in Zuladoc, and in seat 4, we're about to find out. Notably, the Tymna Thrasios. Okay, I have been in this pod before. Where this was a local championship I played recently, where it was myself on Superior Spider-Man, and the pod was Yoshi Thras, Akiri Thras, and I was like, one of these things does not belong here, and it's Akiri Thras, guys.
It's a really good smothering type deck.
One of the silliest pods I've been in a long time. But it'd be good stuff here. I'm very, very excited. And yes, anything cool in this Tymna Thrasios? Listen, I'm about to pull it up here.
I like that they're on subtlety. That's something I think we've started seeing more and more of.
Okay.
Something I know I was chatting with Austin. Something he really likes about it is that it pairs well with Flare of Denial. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
That's cute.
Because we're talking about Static Prison, where like usually people will wait for it to resolve.
Right.
And it opens up what you're able to.
Right.
Instead of using something like a Mindbird trap, you can hit it with like a Redirect Lightning.
Yeah.
I think subtlety oftentimes is like pretty similar, where people will let it resolve so that they can see what it does.
For sure.
But that then means you have one more creature on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Which is not.
Yeah. So what I really like about Zuladoc into this pod is Zuladoc is a deck that is a turn 4, turn 5 deck, right?
Yeah.
So the TNT we looked at is very classic NBC TNT. It's got Flash Photography, it's got Devoted Druid with Hazel Lines, right? It could not be more, in my opinion, like stock NBC TNT if they tried. So that is a deck that is trying to hit long game, right? Rogthras can win on turn 3, but it also is a deck that is more favorable in that long game, right?
Yeah.
So if they sleep on Zuladoc's late game, they are going to lose.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest issue here is if specifically they go into this pod and essentially Zuladoc is forced to push at sorcery speed, that could be a bit of an issue for them. But, Mihai has won a number of tournaments against really grindy, powerful decks, right? Like, this deck is meant to specifically slug it out against these other decks. So, obviously, this is our featured player for this round. So, someone who we're going to be talking about a decent amount, and they're taking on something brand new, and probably the deck that people don't know a super heavy amount, right? If you want to go really in the weeds, you should go check out the deck check on my channel. But
check it out.
Essentially, Zuladoc is trying to play a few disruptive pieces to get to that turn 4, turn 5 mid game, and then by the time they get the commander out and just start cascading spells, it is just eruptions of value. I'm so glad chat did not have to hear that. There's some mic feedback coming out of the main hall right now, so do forgive us if we start wincing very aggressively. But I'm really excited for this pod. I really am. I think this is going to be really interesting. Or one of the Rog Thrasses is going to do the thing where they're like, turn on Rog, play Cradle, tap for birds, and you're like, oh, the game's over. Got it.
Yeah, there's definitely like, given that like, pretty much, I think we can confidently say all of these lists want to see the dawn of a turn 4.
Yeah.
And they want to have this like, you have a fish, I have an Esper, they've got like a Biomancer, so we're all kind of like keeping up. But while it's not as likely as if there were like a Grixis or a Blue Farm, these decks do have the ability to like come out if they get just the right amount of cards. Like TNT, you're in colors that give you Thassa's Decon. Rog Thrass, if they're able to keep a high enough like 7, they can get some, maybe not like a win by the end of turn 2, but they can get enough value on board that while they're digging out gold and diamonds, they're burying everyone else underneath the pod.
Absolutely.
Or, I mean, it's possible that Zul'Adoc just lands an early piece that absolutely hoses.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a Cursed Totem deck, right? Like, it is a deck that can absolutely just honk them in that degree, right? Like, it's a very disruptive deck when it comes to very Silver Bullet-esque cards, right? At least it has been a Cursed Totem deck in the past. I'm curious to see if they're still on it. I would assume as much.
I mean, one of the big things I heard about Portland is that it's huge Rog Thrass territory.
Yeah.
So I would have expected, even if it's not something that they traditionally main board,
exactly,
if they would have slotted it in just as like just to help themselves out.
Yeah, they're on Disruptor Flute and Cursed Totem. Yeah, so and Weathered Runestone. There's a decent amount of pieces that are pretty anti-creature here.
These are Zul'Adoc has a very high potential of creating a board state that's very difficult for Rog Thrass and Thrasios decks to live, laugh, love in.
Live, laugh, love it. What I will say is, I'm going to take some time here to mention that like there's an auction going on right now for charity where a number of creators, myself, Critical, that's a good card. All proceeds are going to our charity here, and it's going to be really, really cool. I know I'm offering a spot in a gameplay coaching session, which is really cool. I know you all have some. Remember what you guys have up there?
There's always stuff that we're giving away.
Yeah.
There were some pretty cool cards actually that I brought in a suitcase.
Hell yeah.
And to make sure that they stayed safe, when I handed off to someone, I said, "Please be careful with the suitcase that has a lot of expensive stuff, everybody." These make sure you keep them on their toes.
Amazing.
But yeah, it's one of the many ways that like we as a community can come to support stuff. And also like Magic players, man, there's a few things we love more than pulling it out our list. Or just trying to take that next step, whether it's like a coaching session or so cool to be on like videos with people. Instead of be able to do so in a way that's also for a good cause. I think especially Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro, and in this economy, it can be hard to know the best way to ethically spend your money. And all the implications that one could surmise from a statement such as that. But one thing that I do think you can oftentimes trust yourself with is a well-run charity that has their heart in the right place. And I think I'm very grateful to have an organization like Tap for Hope that we're able to partner with, and so that we can all kind of like move down the same lane together in a way that like benefits everyone.
Yeah, and honestly, just like hearing more about the program like we did with the interviews here a little while ago, it's so moving in the best way to have such a good cause. We do hear the amazing conversation as a pregame here that I love to hear in the last round of Swiss. All right, guys, somebody's got to win. It's so good. It's so intoxicating. And it's so intoxicating to hear that conversation and not be in that pod.
Yeah, it's so nice. Love to hear it. Would hate to be there. But it's really great to hear. And then hopefully it is able to come to like a natural conclusion. I think you were talking about this earlier, but sometimes it can be a little. I think it's understandable that a lot of people have a lot of mixed emotions when it comes to a draw, but then the conversation of like, well, I mean, if we draw, none of us make top cut, so like. How do we decide who's going to win? And then we start talking about things that aren't the game of Magic. Talk about deciding a game of Magic, and it can get real dicey.
Yeah, and I know people have cited precedent in like other formats before when they talk about like scooping people in. And I think it's very different when it's a format like 60 card where it's like one win can determine someone's Pro Tour chances after they've already won like 15 games. You know what I mean? I think it's a very different situation when we're in a situation like this where that might be someone's second win of the tournament that gets them top cut, right? Having a situation like that where essentially you're saying you've only done the work to win a single game actually, it's not validating in my opinion. And I think the fact that, once again, there is someone who busted their butt, who got that real second win, that could get bubbled out by that situation, to me, like, it is one of the few, like, things I feel extremely negatively passionate about as a play pattern in cEDH. I think, and to be clear, I've only seen it a couple times, but like I remember being at a tournament last year where 2 people who made top 4 got scooped in from the top 16, who like shouldn't even have been in the top 16 cut in the first place. And I watched as the 17th and 18th players were just like walking away being like, I don't know what I could have done differently, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, the other people got to walk away with several zeros on the end of that paycheck.
Yeah.
For not winning those games. And that's tough.
It's frustrating.
It's tough. And it's hard not to feel like those players get snubbed for their hard work, right? So hopefully that's not even a conversation that has to happen after this point right now.
Yeah.
I want to see some good Magic. I'm extremely biased. I want to see some waste skip played. I want to see some non-basic lands that tap for a lot of mana, and not in the way that it's a Gaia's Cradle.
I love that Gaia's Cradle for you. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it. Dampening Sphere.
Yeah. This is going to be a very cool pod. As I said, Mihai has been cooking with this deck. If you haven't experienced the glory that is Azula Doc taking on 4 or 3 other cEDH decks, it is truly some glorious wonder to behold. But I was talking about this with a player from California a little while ago, and we mentioned this earlier today. The blending of metas here is really fascinating.
No, it's so fun. It's why I love big tournaments.
It's so weird, though, because you could not have, and I completely agree with you, to be clear, you could not have 2 metas in the same coast that play so different.
Oh yeah.
The California metagame is one of the most jam first, ask questions later metagames, as we've seen a few times through some of the half pods we've had today. And then that contradicted with the Portland meta, which is this grindy, crunchy, turbo has no place here mentality, right?
Not around here, not in our meta.
Exactly. And then of course we have other folks, right? Like I think there's actually a pretty decent Colorado representation if I'm not speaking out of turn in that department.
Yeah, it's at least half the casting team. So
true. And there's been a number of folks who've come to be here from other places in the country. But as I said, this melting pot has been really, really interesting to see, and curious to see at the end of the day what shakes out into top cut. I know personally at dinner tonight I'm going to be going through the entire meta and being like, what in the hell got here?
What are all these untappers?
Did we ever get touch base on where that Francisco deck is, by the way?
I meant to follow up. I got so distracted just because there's so many people.
I know.
And this always happens for the 6th round. They are like hanging by a thread. And they know that they need everything to go their way.
Absolutely.
And they're like, okay, if I'm against the other Rock Dress list, I'm good. And the other kind of like grinding deck CNT, should be good.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the only thing that could stop me is like colorless. Someone's playing like an Eldrazi. I'm probably, as long as I don't face a Zool, I'm good. Oh no!
And it's funny too, is like this is a format where you could go runner and like take the whole thing down, right? Like I know there's players in this pod right now who had 3 points last round, who could then go win this and then win top 16 and do the whole dang thing. Right? Like,
it's so cool. I love when that happens.
You never know with long tournaments like this. It creates so many unique stories and so many different ways that these stories can shape out. And I'm very, very excited for it. And at the end of the day, the Canadian player with 15 points last round could also be the person who wins the whole dang thing. But like, you never know. You never know, right?
Yeah. Sometimes the villain does win. I could be referring to any deck, any archetype.
I could be referring to any of the villains here. I mean, any of the players here.
But yeah, I also love that there's two Rock Dress players in here, because it's a good reminder that when it comes to like 6th round tournaments like this, at the end of the day, endurance is a really, really big part of it. Especially because like, I don't know, like part of what's going to decide this game is like how many bathroom breaks these players get. It's something that I think Commander players can learn to take from some of the veterans when it comes to like pro players of other formats. We're like day 1 limited, day 2 standard, day modern. Like where you talk about they're having to play like 15 plus games in order to get whatever it is they want to get to. And so I think they oftentimes have more practice. I know that's something I've learned to appreciate is speaking to like friends who have been a part of like 1v1 formats. Yeah. It's really, really cool. I am as well, like you said, it's so fascinating the way that like sometimes the closer the geographical location of metas are,
Yeah.
the more they almost like reverse polarity into each other.
Right,
And I know that cEDH sometimes has a lot of drama, and sometimes people, they're very well-meaning. They may say, well, sometimes there's a little bit too much drama. Maybe we should just be nicer and kinder to each other. And I completely disagree. I think we should lean into the WWEification of cEDH, and I'm here to say, remove it from an individual level, and let's take it global, baby. All right, Portland, you need to show California what's up. And Colorado, we're on the lookout for enemies. So if you think you can take us on, I invite you to try.
I could not trust a community more to have this bit.
I'm sure as cEDH
Listen.
players, we can totally handle rivalries. We're definitely emotionally healthy enough to be able to do so well.
Yes. Yes, and the last person who proposed this definitely is not someone who is no longer welcome in a lot of spaces. That'd be crazy. I have heard this pitch before, and it's never by somebody who hasn't had a very bad year afterwards. So, Eric, I'm going to miss you so much.
Okay. I've been presented with new information.
Eric
Okay.
has signed the dark
I would
contract,
like
and I'll
to-
really miss him.
Whoa. Don't take my... Okay, can I speak? Okay.
Monkey's paw has curled, and I'm going to miss Eric so much.
Okay. No, not another draw. Guys, we can't keep doing this. Okay, I'd like to put my words from like the graveyard into exile.
Yeah. I'm so sorry they had split second. I'm so sorry.
Once again, I am ashamed of my words and my deeds, and I will be reflecting upon this later. I do hope that you guys can forgive me.
Oh, you are a YouTuber.
Train of misinformation. It's a shame it's such a good song. Ooh, we're getting hands.
In hands? We got some hands?
Hands, about to catch these. Okay, let's see. Redirect Lightning, Serene Forest, Magus of the Candelabra, Expedition Map. Okay, yep, this is the Seat 1 Rock Dress. Austin is definitely looking to do a very, very typical Rock Dress hand, but they've got a lot of what they need to make a pretty good turn 2 push into a really, really solid turn 3. I am getting some eyes from Ian, some Ian eyes.
That's like really cool, but have you thought about Amishra's workshop into a liquid metal torque and candelabra into turn 1?
That's so much cooler. Yeah. You versus the colorless actually tells you what to worry about. Oh my god. Longtime viewers of the
Sorry
stream.
for that audio spectrum.
Guys, it's Ian's favorite card.
Oh no.
It's OBM. That's what it's
what?
TNT has.
Zuladoc's here to save us from OBM. He can't hurt me here. He can't hurt me here.
Look, just cascade into a Mirage Mirror and copy it.
Let's go.
No,
Let's
we've got
go.
we can't turn 1 Loth though, but we can definitely turn 2 Aristic Study should TNT so choose. So good for them.
Untap Mishra's workshop turn 1 to play a Staff of Completion.
That's so baller.
Oh god, they're responding to the activation of Candelabra. What's about to happen?
Elvish Spirit Guide Besage.
Is that real? I can't tell if that actually happened. Does seat 110?
Zuladoc, say something!
Oh, I think they mentioned the hypothetical of Elvish Spirit Guide beside you.
Does what? It has a lot of text on it. Okay.
No, it's like
Because I want to do this, but if it's something that's going to
it
hurt
could
me,
happen. That's wild.
A broadcast pilot is trying to show them a.
I can show you the card. It has a lot of text on it. Can I read it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of text on it.
Yeah, right now, so there's currently a conversation happening where Rockglass is like, I don't want to have to use this card right now. And Mihai's like, oh, it's Staff of Completion. It has a lot of text on it, but like I can show you the card. Yeah, I don't think he really cares about the Staff of Completion.
Yeah.
It's
That-
a combo. It's
yeah.
the combo piece. One of the combo pieces for him. The outlet
I can understand where this player is
Don't
coming
know
from.
that I
but-
describe it as a combo piece.
But also, like, if there is one thing I don't want my opponents to know that I have in hand, it's Elvish Spirit Guide Besage. That is like the best possible interaction you can have. That at the like 11th hour, it's 11:59. You are about to lose. Elvish Spirit Guide Besage you is like, you know, it's there. It helps you out. It loves you. It's gonna tell you it's gonna be okay. It's me, Elvish Spirit Guide Besage you. I got you.
Yeah.
That is not something I would flash before two players haven't even had a turn 1 yet.
Yeah. Also, very notably, there was a bit of confusion, which I think is leading to this conversation a little bit more, which was they were under the impression in Seat 1 that Mishra's Workshop can cast the Zuladoc, but that is not how that works. Mishra's Workshop is only able to cast artifacts or activate the abilities of artifacts, right?
It sounds like they're learning two things.
Yeah.
With one stroke of unnecessarily revealing two cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not bad EV.
It's not, yeah, you know, we love a learning environment here. I will say, Trop Island Mox Amber Expedition map, 2 bodies is kind of messed up.
Yeah, especially when one of those bodies is Magus at the Candelabra.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the interaction that he does have in that first hand there on Seat 1?
We're relatively low in interaction. I think aside from that Elvish Spirit Guide Besage, which has now been revealed to the table, there's also a Flusterstorm.
It's
but I don't
redirect or deflecting swat. Okay, got it. Oh, so I wonder if they were going to swat the activation of the workshop or the Candelabra to untap a different land than the workshop, maybe.
Okay, I can see that. Any idea what that one is?
That's the Mox Amber that they played.
That's the Mox Amber? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're seeing the hands in fan order chat, which is why we're missing certain details because some of them are just like, oh, you get this much of the card.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder which dwarf that is. I didn't know what Thresh was on. Blood Boiler.
Traumatized by Blood Boil Dwarf.
Wow. That's crazy. They really want to get stuff haste, huh? Makes sense. They've got the max handle up.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a feeling you're trying to dark red Aqua me, and I'm very scared. But we're going to go for it regardless, right? I mean,
interesting configuration of hands here. Now, I will say, it's really funny. The rest of Mihai's hand is Deserted Temple, which also untaps the Candelabra, or the Mishra's Workshop here. But as you mentioned, like, not a lot of ways to get Zuladoc down right now, because currently the only mana sources he has that affect specifically Zuladoc-able mana is the liquid metal coating. So interested to see how they're able to push past a certain point there on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they were kind of expecting to use a turn 1 staff to essentially like double up on card draw each turn.
But to be fair, how do you pass up on this hand? Right?
It's super effective. Most of it usually isn't interacting with. That's not it. I need to I'm gonna practice containment. Elvish Spirit Guide was talked about. It was correctly not utilized. It's going into the glove box. I need to stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's really a real brain bender there. But it makes sense that they want to have 2 cards every turn, especially since there's only one deck in black. Like, Rocktoss is very rarely tapping out creatures to attack. So the idea of losing 4 life each turn, so putting yourself down potentially 16 life going into that kind of critical nexus, isn't like that bad of an idea. Although we know that there's an OBM, which is going to be eaten into these 2 Rockdrass lists.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, the OBM's not going to survive the SWAT either, right? So it's going to have that ping of damage immediately blasted back at the OBM itself.
Yeah.
This, notably, a Candelabra coming out of Rockthrass here. After he already has the Magus of the Candelabra, Cradle on board. This Rockthrass in Seat 1, we're seeing another Seat 1 tempo play, right?
Yeah.
It's looking pretty bad for anyone who's not in Seat 1 right now, not gonna lie.
And that's what I like about Rock. It's it's the way in which they can kind of snowball out of control is very unique. On one hand, it's all on board. Most anyone can just do the math. But it's so exponentially increases based off of the type of untappers you have and if there's any creature tutors involved. That it's I think that Rockdrass is one of those lists where even the pilots just look at a random board set and wait, do I win?
Yeah.
I've
definitely heard this before, for sure. They're like, it's not deterministic. I'm like, guys, give me,
it's just Cloud of Fairies with a Springheart Antugo on it.
Yeah.
I could get really, really, really unlucky.
It's just a whittle guy. I don't know what you guys are worried about. Yeah, we're definitely having a little bit of delay here. I believe there was a Thrasios activation that did hit the stack, but unfortunately, I don't necessarily know that we got what was flipped off of here, unfortunately. But as I mentioned, Rockgrass in Seat 1, very much pressuring these folks. I mentioned the possibility of sometimes Rockgrass has those cradle openers.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about, right? it can get pretty messy from here. And also having Candelabra and Magus the Candelabra in the opener, absolutely insanity, right?
And it's just gonna make it that much easier for them to just shove a ton of mana into Thrasios. And then they'll get their Crop Rot for a Deserted Temple, or they'll just start getting they'll get a Chord of Calling or Enduring Vitality or just it's really easy for them to go from a little bit of a problem to a lot of a problem.
I'm also kind of flabbergasted that the Rogthras in Seat 3 didn't use that as the appropriate time to ESG Boseiju, right? Because if I see a Rogthras having that much advantage there, I'm not expecting Mihai to be able to untap and be able to cook them at this point. But I'm seeing that many with a Magus and a Candelabra. I feel like we're not supposed to be letting them untap at all at this position.
Plus, I mean, I feel like it's an opportunity where you have a surprising amount of leverage, and you can look at the Zul'Adok player and the TNT player and be like, if either one of you touches my board for the rest of the game, you're donezo.
I think they don't have that time period though, right? I think they're legitimately, if they don't deal with this Cradle, they're pretty cooked, to be honest.
They need a Curse Totem like yesterday.
Exactly.
What's about to happen, right? It's a lot of artifacts. A lot of artifacts.
What are you working with? This is
so there's a little bit of conversation about what Mihai is doing.
I'm not acting like it's okay.
This is more mana than Rogthras.
This is like Trinisphere, God Pharaoh statue.
It's all kinds of great stuff. Yeah,
I think
some really
the players are maybe a little over concerned about what's happening on the Mihai's board, but they also don't know that his hand is pretty dud heavy, right? If I'm him, I'm probably communicating a little bit more about the fact that his hand doesn't do anything. Right.
I think this is unfortunately the other side of the coin of Brewer's advantage is Brewer's disadvantage.
Agreed.
Is especially in round 6, tensions are high, people are scared. The odds of just getting absolutely bumped out of the tournament are it's they've got this is the last chance that they've got. And so even if someone shows you a hand. And they're look, this hand doesn't do anything. But you see this random vehicle. And they're what does that do? And then
exactly.
the Zul'Adok player explains it, but the shield's already up. The walls are already sky high. There's nowhere for that information to go because fear's already taken root. And you can't solve that with information. And so that's really, really rough. And it's one of the dynamics that I feel like you kind of have to get comfortable with if you're playing a list like Zul'Adok.
Darksteel Monolith out of hand is crazy.
Darksteel Monolith.
Oh my goodness.
I know it's a cEDH staple, but for people who don't know what it is.
I was gonna say, for the people at home, let's pull up Darksteel Monolith here. I did just hear one of the players go, I can't believe I'm going to lose my win and into Darksteel Monolith. Darksteel Monolith is an 8-mana indestructible artifact. It says, once each turn, you may pay 0 rather than the mana cost of a colorless spell you cast from your hand. Now, very notably, this is also another card that does not allow Zul'Adok to be played, right?
Because it's not from hand.
So, very interested to see what this converts into. Because they've been keeping their plan based on Boseiju. I also now know why. What? Oh, all is dust. Wow, Mihai's draws have been insane.
Okay, it would appear
dust.
It would appear that maybe. And I'm just pausing. I'm just putting something out there. Oh, hey, out there. I wonder if it's a good idea. It seems like maybe they were correct to be super worried about this Zul'Adok. Holy cow!
Crazy. The first 3 draws since we have seen their hand have been absolutely nuts. And all is dust for free. One of the players goes, "How is this a win-in for you?" Oh my goodness.
This is like if middle schoolers are playing hide and seek versus a Navy SEAL in a ghillie suit. They're like, oh, I wonder if they were going to notice if I hide under the playground. After this 30-year-old with 50 cal.
Would you say all is dust?
Night. This is crazy. That's wild.
Wow.
If you were ever going to choose a game to absolutely drop some heaters and want to be your winning, how is this a winning it for you? Oh, that's so funny.
Wow.
That's so funny.
I was not ready for all his dust from the top rope, my
Dark
guy.
Steel into all his dust. into 2.
I am out of
Well, hang on. No worries. TNT is going to get that turn to
Hey,
Mystic.
TNT didn't lose any permanence, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At least I won't be agonizing over the
Yeah,
replay
C4, they're in pretty good position. With the exception of the fact
Yeah,
that
I'm
they
not
do have
making any
the
decisions
only
anymore.
permanent they have in play is, I
sailing.
believe, Averted Catacombs.
Yo, dog, be cool.
Wow.
Very-
They're putting on a clinic here.
Very notably, Rogthras in Seat 1 has gone from being in arguably the most dominant position to cannot even recast Rog from the command zone.
Yeah.
Because their mana permanents are Mox Amber, doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Guy's Cradle doesn't do anything. Candelabra doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And Trop Island taps for 1.
Yeah, I would
So
like
if
to
they miss a land drop, they physically cannot cast spells.
I would like to tap my Tropical Island to activate my Candelabra, targeting my Tropical Island.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm not
Wild
stalling. I'm
swing
not stalling.
defense.
This is a legitimate gang action, guys.
Yeah. Be cool.
I need to color filter the green into a blue.
Yeah, I'm actually flabbergasted. This went from a position where I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, Mihai's just totally getting targeted down for no reason here too. Oh, never mind, he absolutely deserved it.
Man, this is like really reflecting poorly on my disdain for the fish spirit guy.
Yeah.
You on the staff.
Crazy. No, I mean, legitimately, if I was in this pod, my jaw would have dropped as well, right?
That's such a high roll from the Zula dog.
It's crazy. It's
Does
crazy.
anyone know?
The
like,
only thing keeping him out of this is
water?
the fact that he is not Get Zuladoc on the battlefield for quite some time, realistically speaking. And what I will say is now, because SWAT is gone, they have no... SWAT is offline temporarily, right? But there's no reason for them to remove the Bowmasters. And what I will say is Mihai does have to pay 5 life, effectively, 4 life and a Bowmaster shot if he wants to get those extra cards per turn, right? Which will definitely cause him slight inconvenience, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, if we're weighing, like, the ability to cast a color spell for free from hand versus sometimes 1 damage, I mean, yeah, it's like a...
Going for the Ristic and not holding
Go
up the
for the
Bowmaster.
Bro!
Players also
David,
throwing
you're
out...
up against Goliath, brother. You need that sling, dude.
Hey, listen, you can draw 1 when I cast my spell for free from Darksteel, right? Like,
He can pay for it.
yeah. I don't know.
That's insane.
No, but there is actually some level I do agree that, like, you're the person in 4th seat, you do need to catch up. Like, yes, being the cop in this situation, right? Like,
That's true.
And plus, if Mihai's plan starts working, he's going to be cascading, which means he's going to be drawing cards, right?
Okay.
So while it is like, you know, yes, he had the silver bullet, and yes, if I'm Mihai's seat, I do not care. Because, like, effectively, when this deck starts working, it's like semi-blue in the fact that you look at your opponent's counter spells and you're like, you guys are so cute. You guys are adorable. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Now, could they have used that for the All Is Dust? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tim the Thras to the Rock Thrust decks. What's a good time to interact here? Zuludog. If you don't mind me interrupting, you can try.
yeah. Hey, guys, have you considered that everything is dust? What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. You guys want to concede?
We made like 3 I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark jokes, and then didn't do it when all his dust was on the stack. Come on.
Oh, man. Indicating we probably would be snapped out if it happened karmically. We deserve it. No, that's a really good point that you make. It's the, like, does Ristic Study, like, stem the tide of the bleeding wound that is, like, Zuludog's board?
Yeah, exactly.
Not exactly, but also, like, if you're in C4, you have to play the greedy play.
Yeah.
Right? Like, especially on a winning end. Like, what are you going to do? Like,
Yeah.
like maybe...
You have to prioritize you.
Yeah.
Prioritize yourself. man.
You do you, boo. Get in there, Gage.
Yeah, get in there. Pop off, King.
Yeah. Draw those 4 cards.
Hell
They might
yeah.
help.
Yeah. What I will say is that is actually the clock right now. Is Mihai's life total. Like if they are trying to pressure Zuludok, turns out when you pay 4 life for a card every turn, it adds up. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely some interesting stuff there for this. I'm very excited to see what comes next.
Oh, Emergent Zone?
Emergent Zone. Yeah, just in case you need to do some instant speed Eldrazi stuff. Sure.
Yeah.
But once again, Zuludok is very far off because there's only 3 mana worth of sources that can cast them. So it's really. Yeah, I believe Mihai is exactly describing that situation where it's like, I did my thing, I had the stuff, I'm now passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all saw it. We all acknowledged it was cool.
Yeah. The opponents are cooking a little hard right now. They're like, well, Emergent Zone's out. It does say once each turn you can cast something for free. And Mihai's like, Well, I probably wouldn't strip mine myself to do so I'm going to pass.
If I could do that, wouldn't I cast something for free right now?
yeah, exactly. And this is the tough part about decks like Zillidock, right? Like, they do not have that sort of draw power that you have in other colors, right? So we do see a little bit of stalling here. A very impressive start. The draws were really good, but the luck seems to have at least stemmed a little bit, you know?
I mean, I'm just hoping he doesn't have it. For a 2 turns, figure it out. That's all we can do.
The Rock Dress players discussing the viability of the strategy of hoping Zillidock doesn't have it.
Yeah, because I believe that was prompted by, I believe that is Beseju as land for turn. Which you know, I kind of agree though, right? Like, Rock Dress is so far out of this game. Like, they need to start taking game actions that are going to contribute to their game. Right? Yeah. Everyone is in this position where they can't all play best friends, let's stall the game out and get a draw, right? Like, this is why I love last round of Swiss, because everybody is not messing around. They can't take a safe option. They need to win a game here, right? No one is holding back. They are slogging. They are pushing the agenda, and they are essentially going, hey, I need to be the one to win here, right? I have to be greedy enough to put a dub on the board. And it's good. They need this. They need this motivation, right? Everyone is at the point where they cannot take any no for answers here.
Absolutely. That's a really good point. Yeah. Like, I guess Beseju for land makes just as much sense as playing the Ristic. Like, you gotta do something.
Yeah, I completely agree. Also, we, sometimes when we're in the booth, you get to hear really prime conversations, like someone asking if the candelabra is real, and then responding, "If it's real, can I chew on it?" Classic commentary from our players. Yeah. So it's really, really good.
They should be up here. They should be doing that.
Yeah.
I haven't asked if I can chew on anything.
I really want that, and then like a black and white cut of you throughout the day being like, I can chew with it.
Just be like, keep looking at my notebook like, I mean, like, cows chew on stuff all the time, and they taste great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously there's got to be some positive correlation.
Yeah, I'm going back in birthday mode. I feel like that's going to help spice things up in this pod.
Happy birthday, Tyler. You know who you are.
Absolutely.
Also, we know who you are. Your name is Tyler.
Oh, we love the S% in the follow-up to the Ristic study. Yeah. Oh, and, sorry, apologies. Lotho into S%. Yeah, how could I be so foolish as to miss TNT's vomit of value?
Yeah. The old VV. I mean, you do have to applaud them in their sequencing.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see a match in sequencing by Zillidock.
Yeah.
Potentially. It's so crazy though. Like, they really are on like a knife's edge here. Like, if like Zillidock draws a waste for turn and then they hit like a Soul Ring or like a Thran Dynamo.
Yeah, he's really missing like Thran Dynamo, Mana Vaults, Grim Monolith. Like, the amount of hits that we could like look in this list for that allow him to hyper accelerate into that next phase of the game are there, right? Even Chromatic Orrery is a card that puts Zillidock mana on the field and allows him to keep going, right? But right now it's just a case where he needs to hit that next thing, or else he's just not going to be able to push, right? But, going through the list, right, Thran Dynamo, Eternity Elevator, Radiant Lotus, Chromatic Orrery, all of these pieces allow him to just start going. Mm-hmm. But he's got to get there.
Yeah.
He's got to get that piece.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's almost there. And it's like all his dust set everyone back to the Stone Age. Set everyone back to the Stone Age. But cavemen with clubs can get pretty far when you're burning like 5 life per turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't quite see what's happening on Rock Thrust's turn, unfortunately. I'm getting a little disruption in the stream here, but it's a Phantasmal Image coming down as a copy of Esper Sentinel here. So the game went very much from a no-holes-barred, all-is-dust off the top ropes to very quickly back in slop.
Yeah.
We've re-slopped. But what I will say is, in a way that kept that Rog Thrust in seat 1 from just cleaning house.
Yeah.
Right? Which was very, very clearly going to be happening if they got a third turn.
Yeah.
So
this is not how I predicted things going.
Yeah. Very much a functional reset of this pod, right? Yeah. But now we're in a situation here where we're going to be very interested to see where things are going in our next step here.
What's going to happen?
The tech. So, for those who don't know, Liquimetal Torque is a mana rock that can tap for colorless mana. It also has the activated ability to activate and turn a target creature into an artifact. So, it is currently not creature, pardon me, permanent.
Yeah.
It is currently turning the Phantasmal Image Esper Sentinel into an artifact, which you might go, well, why would they do that? Turns out, Phantasmal Image doesn't like attention. He's a little bit shy, and if you give him any attention, he literally dies.
Yeah. No, I love the stay down mentality that Zul'Dog has here. This is my game.
Yeah,
I want the 5
absolutely.
points. I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
we all
yeah.
know that. But I'm going to get there, and I'm going to do it one Phantasmal Image at a time.
He's just he's targeting it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, now the pods are explaining it together.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's one joint.
Yeah, they're
You blew up
yes,
my
I
board. You
believe
can't be
Austin
mad
at
me
this
for not
point
doing it.
is attempting to, at this point, validate the Phantasmal Image. Although, yeah, the tone of the conversation is getting a little aggro right now. I think if you're attempting to validate why your engines should stick around, definitely don't want to start antagonizing the person who is actively trying to remove those engines on the board. Yeah, you're good. All right. Yeah, so we are currently having that discussion right now. It's getting a little bit of a back and forth right now, and I think we are getting to the point where, players are, seems like they're willing to reverse that choice. So for those who aren't familiar with multiplayer tournament policy, there is an ability essentially for someone to provide you information, an opponent, and you are able to take back decisions based on the information they have provided, which is what we are seeing at play here. So it seems like the convincing was able to be achieved, and the game action was reversed, which is perfectly normal, as I said, for a multiplayer game. It's a rule we've had for a long time, but yes, this is a protected rule through the multiplayer addendum that we all use right now. I'm curious to hear why it was eventually chosen to be reversed. I did kind of like it as a tempo play, but what I will say is that Tim Nethrasios' list, as the person who lost the least amount of cards, is now building on the most resources. It does make sense that you want someone to keep them in check, but the question is, do you really think Rog Thras is going to be doing that?
Yeah.
Are they really going to be the person who's actually able to scrap back with you?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Gene Pollinator the candelabra at them?
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, everyone's got enough mana. They'll just pay for the Esper anyways if it's...
Yeah.
But also, by the same stroke,
the stack? Oh, no, this is... this is a fantastic card. We're gonna read this one out loud for... this is Ingenuity Engine. So it's for 7 mana, and I believe he is currently casting it for free. Due to that ability. It has 7 mana Cascade. You can then pay 1 generic mana and sacrifice an artifact to return this artifact to its owner's hand. So effectively, this is going to do an expedited Zul'Dog trigger at this point. So Cascade for 7. Now, when you have Zul'Dog and you can get 3 Cascades off of it, obviously it looks a lot better. Mm-hmm. But we have the Cascade triggers happening right now. I do believe that... I'm curious to see what the payment was for. Oh, I believe it's actually the Cascades were for the 2 mana we see tapped down right now. It was cast for free off of the Darksteel, but what we're seeing is the paying for the 2 Espers and maybe not the Ristic as well. And now we see a Grafdigger's Cage being flipped off the top, which does affect these decks that use a lot of green tutors.
It's funny because you're cascading for 7, and you're like, big hit.
Yeah.
And so you see the 1-2 mana artifact. I'm like, that's a bit of a whiff. But I mean, Grafdigger's, especially with green decks that are in top deck mode, being able to shut off their ability, especially Rog Thras loves doing tutor chains for 2. Tutor chains for 2.
Yeah, and what I will say, the unfortunate part about Grafdigger's Cage is I think it's great against a lot of decks in the pod. It's better against the Rog Thrases. Yeah. And Rog Thrases are not the one who are currently the dominant position right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that there is a... Yeah, there's a very...
Do you sack the candelabra if you're Zul'Dog?
Yeah, I still don't think you want to sack it there, right? Because... Yeah, there's a lot of debate happening right now at the pod about what can be sacked, all that kind of stuff. It's just... I think that these players are sort of losing sight of the fact that Mihai has to play his own game here, right? And he does know what he's doing, This is somebody who's performed very well with this deck before, right? And yes, it's disrupting their mid-range plans, but like that's the point. Like that's what he wants to do. This is not a deck that's supposed to be like, oh, I'm supposed to let you guys do everything. My bad. Of course, right? So yeah, it's very interesting to see how the rest of this turn ends up progressing.
I mean, you don't put like cards like Grapdigger's Cage in if the argument of like, but I don't want you to cast it.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, exactly.
And then you're also right. It is really interesting that like, honestly, I think this is something that like a lot of like newer players may not like grasp on until they've like played a little bit and had like situations go dicey. But like in a situation like this, your opponents only give advice in 2 situations, and both of them are incorrect. One is if they're bored and trying to keep their mind active, and they're like, oh, why don't you do? That's a bad idea for your opponents because helping another opponent win is
not a great idea. Yeah.
The other situation is if they are trying to get you to take game actions and in some way, shape, or form benefit them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, those are definitely some of the more concerning interactions in the format for sure. I'm very interested to see just sort of how this progresses because I definitely think that there is a very classic situation that comes up with these things, which is just people tend to end up in situations where stacked decks just frustrate people, right? And it doesn't matter how rational the decision making is or anything like that. It really does end up being the case where it's like, this thing is stopping me, and therefore I am annoyed by it, even though it's not technically the thing that's actually the most dominant in the board state, right? So it feels like the threat assessment is there right now, but also it feels like there's a lot of that, what we talked about earlier, visible versus invisible information. What is frustrating, what is annoying, versus what is actually winning these games, right? And meanwhile, Rogthras and C1, who had a lot of positioning early to win this game, got their position blown out, and now they're in a position where they're clearly acting frustrated throughout the course of this game, right? So it definitely is good to also keep the head in check, right? Like keep yourself mentally in the game. And don't get me wrong, I've had times where I've been extremely frustrated in pod, and I take that time to quietly sort of simmer down, right? But you got to keep it locked in if you want to get the winning in here, right?
Yeah, cooler heads will prevail in situations.
Amen.
And I can very much sympathize with having such a strong start and then absolutely getting obliterated. It's such a brutal experience. Like that's a violent, emotional experience to go through. But also, do I want to dedicate my energy to micromanaging this player who has resources, or do I want to be sitting and I brewed this list because I'm good at it. I made it this far in the tournament because I have enough skill to cross the finish line if the stars align. What cards do I need? If I get the right top decks, what do I need? But also, it's understandable, and we're hearing a little bit of this from the players right now. It's also understandable the tensions are high because it's a win-in. And I think it's very rare for people to be mentally prepared for all is dust to hit you.
How does one prepare for when everything is dust?
Actually, I would go so far as to say, if you're brewing Rogthras and you're what if I go against a Zuladog? I mean, maybe the odds are a little bit different in Portland.
Yeah, Portland specifically. You never know.
But in general, I think you may be extending the hypotheticals of
exactly. Blue farm? All is dust? Oh, yeah.
I'm not worried about Ristic. I'm worried about
dust.
Steel. So I don't know. I think there's also and we players say this all the time. We'll say, you know what, I'm going to take the L. If I lose to Zuladog, I'll take that. But you don't expect for the statistics to represent in such a way that the situation you chose to ignore to instead be really, really good against certain more meta decks to come to bear in one of the most precious and important moments of your tournament run.
Totally.
Here.
Yeah, and it's so funny too because I don't know. There's so many situations here where cEDH I often refer to as educated gambling, right? Generally you are making the best play for the percentages you're working with, right? We talked about those variables 100 times today, right? The variable heavy format, so many different things can happen. You never know, right? But at the end of the day, you are essentially going, I'm going to make the best shot for me. I have to take that shot. I have to take that initiative. I have to go for whatever my win looks like, right? And we're seeing this here where the players are struggling with that notion of keeping ourselves alive, also not letting that frustration of this player's advancing their plan, which is directly antithetical to my plan. And where do we find that middle space? Because we talked about this earlier, cEDH is such a format, but there are some times where you are just at odds. And you know, you can't always be mad at the Rogsai player who jams the Necro and forces the draw, right? Because at the end of the day, they were trying to jam that Necro to put everyone in a tune, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, there's going to be times where you're just diametrically opposed to people, and navigating that situation and how you can move forward in the game. And sometimes that moving forward means we just can't be social with one another during the course of this game, and that's okay. And we can accept that and not be hostile, right? Which I think, you know, to be clear, like the players are like expressing some frustration. It's definitely not an openly hostile game right now. I don't want to miscategorize what's happening as that, but like it's definitely one where like you can tell there is some frustration, some tension that is present, but not hostility, not aggression, right? Like we would let a judge know if it got to that point.
It's getting Thanksgiving meal. Like no one's like throwing anything.
Yeah.
But, like. They're definitely thinking about it.
But Grandpa brought up politics, and it got a little tense for a minute, you know.
Grandpa, stop! No, pap. No, I think you're absolutely right. Of like a lot of times people will stare at, you know, like especially dedicated turbo decks like Rockstar, and be like, I just don't understand like why you're pushing here. And they're like, oh, I have a Necro Dom out. Like, I'm not gonna waste my shot. Like this is it. If I'm gonna win, it's right here. Like, I have to push the issue, and I understand that, like, you know, what's a positive for me is a negative for you. But we both brought decks with the intention of us being able to leverage what we're good at to win. And so I'm gonna do what I need to do to win. With the expectation you do the same. And for me, that's what makes a CDH.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's where I've learned to really, really appreciate, like, you know, I remember I was playing against I forget who it was. I think it was actually and I went to go like besiege you their Bulls in Citadel, and there was zero politicking. He was just like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, dude, sometimes it's just like that. Right now seems like we are debating on letting Rogthras have this Ristic study. You know, once again, going back to this, let's slop it up type of game. Also,
let's draw this game together.
The sort of gumption to be upset about the Esper getting blown up to then follow up with a Ristic study is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. That sort of play pattern is making me chuckle a little bit. But you know, once again, they're playing in their outs, man. They gotta push their narrative here, right? So
they're playing. Definitely a little out of pocket.
Absolutely.
But I mean, if I were them, I would want an Esper and a Ristic. Who wouldn't, you know?
Yeah. I believe the debate there was, if you counter this Ristic study, I'm not paying for... If you don't counter the Ristic study, I won't pay for your Ristic study trigger, is, I believe, how that conversation just went, which I don't know.
That's like if you scratch my back, I'll let you scratch my back kind of
one
argument.
Time. Yeah.
It's a win-win for me. I'm not quite sure what it does for you.
Yeah. I don't know that I want another player to have two draw engines here. I just feel like that does not ever work in my favor if I'm in this situation. Especially a deck like TNT, like it can play its abolishers and stuff like that and win, but like the odds of your opponent having the force, having the mind break trap, having the pieces that stop you, especially after going into Zulodok's turn, which he may be cascading a whole bunch. I want to be the only one drawing off of that. Like I feel like this Ristic study got resolved based on the phobia of what hypothetically Zulodok could cascade into, which, as we saw earlier, could be totally valid, right?
Yeah.
Realistically, as the game goes on, though, I think this is more just a case of like this Ristic kind of got away with murder resolving in this situation.
I think it can also be a consequence of like the flattening that happens to like people's experiences in CDH of like, you know, round one, you're able to like with crystal clear like recall. So like they did this, then this happened, then this happened. I mean, if you've been in tournaments, you know that like sometimes you may have difficulty remembering if something happened this game or like multiple games earlier.
So real.
And then so now like, you know, a player like is countering your spell, and sometimes it's hard to remember like how many of my spells have they countered. And so when you get frustrated, there's that like a worth of like frustration coming to bear, and especially all of these players have 8 points, I believe.
We have a Zulodok uncounterable off a Cavern of Souls hitting the stack right now. That is pretty dang good. And especially because we know Ingenuity Engine's on the field, it is able to sack, bounce, go back up, go on the stack. It gets 3 cascades. It does not matter if that spell gets countered. It's getting 3 cascades here.
good.
Now, to be clear, they need a counter. But hypothetically speaking, it doesn't matter because they're about to have 3 cascades off the top of this deck. Yeah. Zuladoc is on the stack.
This is exactly what me
Yeah.
looking for. It's like exactly what they want. Are they explaining how Cascade works?
The conversation is, I know you know Zuladoc. Apparently, this is a known deck in this pod, but they're like 1 spell away from winning. And Mihai responded with, "Yeah, but the spells go on the stack."
Man, what a place of education.
Yeah. We're learning so much today. I love this. All right, Zuladoc is happening. It is happening, and it seems like I believe the Ingenuity Engine bounce is what I can only assume happens, right? So. Yes, okay, so Zuladoc has stuck. There was a bit of confusion with some of the players who thought Zuladoc themselves cascaded, but Timnath Thrasios it seems like they are responding. So Zuladoc is not actually resolved yet.
I'd like to hardcast subtlety. Okay, very cool.
Hard cast what? Oh, subtlety. Oh, you do not want to see that if you're Mihai right now. That is tough. A hard cast subtlety, putting the uncounterable Zuladoc on top of their owner's library. That's it's pretty rough. Yeah. Interesting.
How rough is it? Because it puts Zuladoc. It more than likely is going to put Zuladoc back in the zone, right?
I think I would put it back on top of the library, to be honest. Like, if
you're the Zuladoc player here.
Yeah, because I'd rather not pay the 2 extra tax on it. I'd rather just you know. Because he doesn't have the mana to do that unless there's some secret artifact that we're unaware of, right? So yeah, Zuladoc does hit the top of the library like we thought. Interesting. Funny enough, you can activate the Ingenuity Engine, cascade into Zuladoc. It is counterable there, but it'd be funny.
That would be funny.
I don't think that's what you're supposed to do, to be clear. Yeah.
They should have held E-Zone up for this.
And he follows up with the Metal Worker. Abso-dang-lutely. Hell yeah.
Time to go get logs for the funeral pyre.
Yeah.
They're all smokers today.
Yeah. What I will say is Mihai is presenting a lot of threats, but at the end of the day, I don't know how they're getting past TNT's turn. Realistically speaking, like Timnath Thrasios has a cavern naming humans. It has a bunch of mana. It's been getting Lotho treasures the entire time. It's been drawing off Esper and Rhystic. Like, how are they surviving that turn? And inversely, like, how are a lot of these folks letting TNT get away with murder right now?
Yeah.
You know, to be fair, the other 2 did get dusted. So, draw a Hexing Squelcher off Thrasios activation.
I bottomed something that is,
Zach on Rockquest goes, I bottomed something that does not work through Grafdigger's Cage, reveal the Squelcher, and claiming that it doesn't matter right now, so clearly got a hand that is not moving gas-wise, right? To be fair, you can look at that board state and recognize, like, that is not Rog Thrast when it's thriving, right?
Yeah.
Hexing Squelcher is a great card. Not when specifically their main win conditions are a bunch of creature-based ones with no Cradle on board, and Breach, which Grafdigger's Cage makes quick work of.
Yeah.
Also, a Breach that would have to go through double Esper, double Rhystic.
Yeah, I think Zach is probably the player I feel for most in this pod because they currently have what could be considered a mediocre board state for turn like 3, much less the fact that we're on turn 6.
Yeah. Tough too because they had the impossible Beseiju there, which was, do you stop Mihai, who blows you out?
Yeah.
Or do you stop the Cradle deck that's going to win the game if Mihai didn't happen to have all its dust, right?
Yeah.
So there's kind of no win there, right? Yeah. Like, I had a feeling like if I was in Zach's seat, I probably would have jumped the gun and blown out the Cradle, and then you lose to that all its dust, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of situations here where, genuinely, like, he's in really a lose-lose situation. I do feel for his position here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like this is not a situation
I believe there is a cackling counterpart that is attempting to make a frog copy of some creature, and I believe Lotho is the intended target here. I believe this is a proxy that is just fully sky blasted by the lights of the ceiling at the current moment.
Flashbang.
Yeah.
Firebomb.
Yeah. Interesting.
No, I'm with you though. I'm worried about this TNT.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Zul'Doc too, but I'm worried about Zul'Doc later. I'm worried about TNT.
Yeah. I genuinely think there is a solid chance that TNT just cleans up shop right now, especially given the fact that we're starting to get to crunch time. There's 28 minutes left in this round, right? And once again, these players need to win games of Magic, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be a dub for any of these players here if they want to make top 40.
Yeah.
Which, once again, is why we're watching this round, right? We want to see people winning the game. Yeah. How's chat feeling?
They're talking about stuff, as one does.
Yeah. Chat do be talking about stuff.
Chat do be talking about stuff.
Yeah, so we're at sort of an in-between phase here, between turns. Timna Thrasios is untapping and drawing their card. This is what I would consider the critical turn.
Yeah.
Realistically, I'm gonna be surprised if they don't put a win attempt on the stack, but there's a lot of conversation about Zul'Doc's board state.
Yeah.
So, there's a chance that Timna Thrasios doesn't have it, or there's a chance that this is just pocket sand, right?
Yeah.
An obfuscation technique just meant to hide how good their board state is.
Yeah. Plus, as well, is like
casting an Imperial Seal. Yeah.
Okay. Also, like you said, there's only so much time on the clock. I think there's also a role where like Timna Thrasios is able to aggressively posture enough that if they're able to get Nihil to kind of like play on the back foot a little bit, they can buy that time for like one extra card, that one extra untap.
Yeah. No,
absolutely. There was a time where like the colorless deck was leagues ahead of everyone else, but we're starting to see the power that like these kind of like grindy, kind of like late game decks are able to have.
What do you think the Imp Seal here is for?
Have they tapped their Cavern yet?
No, they haven't. So the draw is confusing me a little bit. Like, how are they getting this card in hand, Now, very notably, player said, what do you get? Which, obviously, is not something they ever have to respond to. But their response was, can you mark me at 34? Which, to me, usually indicates something that they want people to not even be slightly thinking about.
Is it a Born?
Yeah. Who's to say? Honestly, it's a very interesting permutation.
You've got you've got a Lotho, you got an Esper, you got a Ristic. I mean, do you just bank on getting 2 or 3 treasures?
Yeah.
And then just
that's a great question, right? Do you not have enough resources to make it actually happen? But if they can find a way to easily crack the top card of the library, they should win this turn, right? There should really be no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very fascinating to see what that leads to.
I mean, I think maybe are they able to cast Timna to crack it? But I mean, that's not where I would want to spend my mana right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening though.
I mean, they are going to see a lot of cards. Oh, actually, no. Where are they going to get through? Oh, I mean, Rockcrest isn't going to block.
Yeah, I mean, Mihai only has Metalworker as a blocker.
Yeah, which they're not going to.
Yeah, they shouldn't be able to block efficiently there. Yeah, you send at least 2 bodies there. But if you send, exactly. Subtlety or Thrasios and another creature, right? Some sort of permutation of how to do that. I'm quite surprised here, though. I genuinely thought we were going to see a pretty distinct closure here from this Timna Thrasios deck. So, I mean, there's also a chance, and this genuinely happens in cEDH. Sometimes you have all the resources and you just draw bad cards.
Yeah.
Sometimes you draw the wrong half of your deck. He could be sitting on 6 counter spells, right? That is legit something that happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Subtlety. Does Subtlety fly? I can't remember. It does not fly. Okay. Explicitly was just said by the players.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you, players.
Thank you. Unless
we
they said
judges,
it does fly.
We thank the staff.
Now I have to double check here.
I want to thank the players. Thank you, players, for all you do.
Oh, so it does fly. Okay.
And sometimes don't.
Yeah. All right. So we see the pay 1, draw 1. So whatever it was, it better have been worth 4 mana. I'm really fascinated to see what is coming here. To be honest.
They have. Oh, they haven't played late turn, and I guess they should be able to trigger Lotho too, so because you're looking at 2 mana.
Yeah, hypothetically speaking. Yeah. Or they should have already done so. MCL.
Okay, one life.
Oh, yeah.
One treasure. I will cast Devoted.
Devoted Druid in the stack. Are they going for the naked win here with just like assuming no one has the interaction? That would be really surprising to me.
I mean, they got their commander out, so it does mean they have access to like potential spells.
That's how it goes, right?
So I'm
Do you remember
assuming
when they
what's
pitched the subtlety? I don't remember.
no, not at all. What I'm assuming is happening here is you play Devoted Druid, double minus, goes to graveyard, play Hazel's Brewmasters, attempting to win the game, but this.
Are you?
Oh,
Whoa, past turn.
Sorry, I guess Devoted Druid's still on the stack.
I have to pass on Devoted Druid, bro.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, you can
Oh,
fight
I'm
over the next
I'm
one.
wondering if they just have Swift Recon.
All right, yeah.
It feels like a Swift reconfiguration. I'm going to attempt to wait until someone else is putting a win condition on the stack.
Yeah. It's tricky. Someone's been watching Max P play.
Listen, man. Listen.
Oh, okay. I was waiting to
Yeah, no,
It was
for
just a great
sure.
monologue.
No, I think you're right about that.
It feels like a cheeky Swift Recon. For
Yeah,
sure.
like why go down on so much mana, especially when you have
Yeah.
so many card engines up?
Yeah, and the question, I guess, at that point is, do you think with Infinite Green they feel comfortable enough being able to present a win? I guess if they have Court of Calling, they just Infinite Green, put the Thrasios into the battlefield, and then just draw the rest of the deck. You know, so there's a lot of win conditions that are meant to specifically be able to convert on Swift Recon off of the Devoted Druid here. So. Still a lot of discussions about what's happening. So it's really wild. I feel like the level of panic that these players are exhibiting for this compared to the couple cascades from me, it's like a very different reality.
Yeah. But also, like, there's got to be so much like fatigue. Like, how many things can you be scared of? Like, deathly scared of in one game.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of goes back to
exactly.
that whole like Smothering Tide example of like the first time Darksteel lets like a huge spell hit the stack. You're like, oh no! And then the fourth time you're like, gotta resolve my wrist stick. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
What are you cascading into? I'm gonna draw 4.
Thanks, big guy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I believe that Fairy Mastermind was flashed in at the end step of Tim and Thrasios' turn, unless I'm mistaken.
I wonder if they're doing that to avoid like a Lothar trigger potentially.
Yeah.
Because you gotta like.
Yeah.
Gain one for.
Ristic. Yeah, the Frog Lotho is being brought up once again.
Frotho, you might say.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it. I'm at the end of the day. I'm losing steam. I would have had Frotho out of the pocket. Frotho.
No, I'm still around the high up that chai that we were talking earlier. I was so thankful.
Sorry, I guess the Ristic would have been my second card.
Massive.
Yeah, sorry. I was announcing
Massive
I was resolving
support.
each draw one.
Ooh, yep. Okay, so they did recognize that there was some Lotho triggers missed there. So.
Yeah, and we do have a judge standing by.
Yeah. But maybe they're referring to the second draw from the Ristic Study draw with Fairy Mastermind now relevant. So that's probably a little bit of what they're talking about there. Got it. Yeah, players just trying to resolve their triggers, trying to go into Austin's turn. I'm really curious. It seems like Gage is just like unable here to win on sorcery speed most likely, but they're probably just hoping for that instant speed Swift Recon win if I had to be a gambling man. I don't know who's actually going to be able to get a turn with the amount of time remaining left. We have something like 23, 25 minutes left, right? So definitely a situation in which things are going to get snug here moving forward, you know?
I'll tell you what, people are going to walk away from this table really unhappy.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's so reasonable, right? Anytime you are in a position where one game choice, one decision, one fork in the road is the difference between you making top cut and not, right? Like being in a win in, especially I know I've been in situations like that before where you're on 8 points since like round 2 or 3, right? Like, I mean, these folks are, they're at the point where they have 8 points, or 9 points specifically. So, some of them have not technically lost a game of Magic today, right? But they know they have to. They know they have to.
And plus,
so-
you have to imagine. I mean, we saw a lot of the draws that we saw. I mean, some people were really happy about them. Some people were really, really unhappy about them. And so they may be like not just near the end of the line, but at the end of the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no judgment. That's the.
For sure.
I mean, honestly, that's one of the things I like about like casting is my stress levels are way, way lower than when I am in these player seats.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We do have some sort of casting going on here. I believe it's the Thrasios coming back out from Austin's board.
And I can, but I
Yeah. Mentioning that they are fully locked out of tutoring because of this Grafdigger's Cage, right? So very much putting themselves on the back foot here. As I mentioned, like what we talked about earlier, TNT is the one who is the least affected by this state, right? So
like in general, like one of the best possible comeback mechanics that Rock Dress has is like a creature tutor, right? You like go, you Nature's Rhythm for a Cloud of Fairies, then you go get something else, or you go get like an Internal Witness, increase the creature count, bring the creature tutor back. You're looking to like multiple times in a single turn. Just keep going into the library, getting creatures out. Creatures library.
And there's ways like for Middle Speaker nowadays that like definitely make that process a little bit easier for pieces like Grafdigger's Cage, but you've got to have so many more pieces. Plus, we're dealing with the fact that there's a Ristic on the field, there's Nesper Sentinel on the field, there's Lotho on the field, right? So these pieces are definitely a little bit harder.
Yeah, and then, I mean, to the point, I mean, you've talked about it before. I mean, it's, I'm sure it's something that stands out to reviewers as well. Like Rock Dress, they're like, okay, I could get Formidable Speaker. That might help.
Yeah.
I've got one thing against TNT's Lotho, Ristic, Devoted.
Yeah.
They are suspiciously holding up. One going to mana. I mean, fortunately, Thrasios decks notoriously have a really difficult place finding Wizards utilizing mana.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they've got that to feel safe about.
Yeah. Now, we do remember that this Rock Dress does have this Candelabra here, although, once again, it doesn't seem like they're scaling as hard as Tymna Thrasios is, for sure. So, I think this is a very different game than Grafdigger's Cage. I think it's a wildly different game in that circumstance here. So, very, very interesting to see that board state.
Yeah. If, like, Zul'Doc needs a Curse Totem.
Yeah.
They need a Curse Totem so bad. Or, like, something that, like, shuts off artifacts.
Yeah. I mean, Seaborn Muse, I think, is what's just hit the stack, unless I'm mistaken. Which, understandably, I can understand why folks would be debating that one.
Yeah.
This can't resolve on this board.
I mean, I know what he has in his hand.
I love that. Players being like, yeah, this can't resolve.
Guys, it's Seedborn.
Yeah, no, which, to be explicitly clear, no, that cannot.
Yeah.
In case there's any ambiguity in our tone, no, that could not resolve at all.
Austin's like, I argued so vehemently for my Phantasmal Image to not get Liquid Metal Torque. For this? Now you guys are going to hit my Seedborn?
Yeah, I think there is only so much the fear of Mihai's turn can convince them to keep a Seaborn around, So definitely very interested to see how this continues. Conversation's a little quiet, so I'm gonna plug in the headphones a little bit, but if you want to vamp for them.
Oh no, I just need the Seedborn so I can stop TNT. I could Thrasios spin into Auto Water over Seiju to deal with their board.
This is exile. Force on the stack, and
There's a force on the stack trying to Seaborn Muse. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. There's only so much that Seaborn Muse can be allowed to be a thing. The answer is not at all. The issue we are seeing here is we are in a situation where this is about to potentially erupt into a stack battle, and we have, well, let's see, about 20-something minutes left, maybe
not
less.
Much.
14 minutes left. So the question is, does Mihai get a turn? I think that is a really important question here, because if he does get a turn, he can push. But if this stack gets too long, there's a chance this gets buried, and then nobody walks away with a W here, right? And I don't necessarily think that's the end of the world.
No.
In the sense that there are people who will be able to take that dub in other pods that are happening right now, right? And if it doesn't work out for these players, that's okay. You know? It just means it's not their tournament. And a lot of them, there's at least one player who can walk away saying they haven't lost a single game today. You know?
I sure showed that Zul'Doc player what for.
Yeah, the 105 dream is alive for one of these players in this pod. And some of these players might walk away with only a single loss today, but there's a chance that if this stack buries a bunch of stuff here, people are walking away with draws, you know, which would be a little bit crazy. But as we can start to see, there's already triggers in the stack. We're already starting to count things. Things are going to get messy here in a second.
I think this would be a very appropriate time for these players to start going, priority?
Yeah.
Priority?
Yeah.
Priority?
I think if I'm Tim Thrasios here and my plan is the Swift Recon fight, I'm loving this. Because if this person's going to fight over the Super Muse for a turn that may not even happen, then things get very crazy. And at the end of it, everyone goes, oh man, anyways, we fought over the Seaborn Muse, and you're like, I'm just going to tap this white mana. And I have this aura. I don't know if you guys know it. It's called Swift Reconfiguration. It turns into a fun little vehicle.
Vroom, vroom, am I right, boys?
I believe the conversation's trying to be happening, but like the response, I can't let you have this Seaborn Muse here, is real. I think the thing is, like, at a certain point, Austin has to realize that there's no way the Seaborn Muse was not going to start a fight. Like, there's just no way. It was always going to be like that, right?
So there's like potentially a world. I mean, they do have mana or Born. I mean, they have been drawing cards. I mean, there is. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. You kind of use like a bait spell to get a lot of attention on something. So I could see that potentially being one of the paths to victory they spotted. But then also it's the same situation, and it's their main phase. Ooh, there's the Veil
in the stack.
Okay. Okay, I like that.
I just think that this is going to end up in a situation in which something's going to get buried in the stack here, and to be honest, I think the answer here was just never get to see one news, because I don't think with 14 minutes left you can ever yap enough to convince these people that this is not a game-winning card. Right? It's tough, and the tough part is it isn't. Like, it's not a Grand Abolisher, it's not a Hexing Squelcher, it's not an effect like that that's going to clear the stack. So. Seems like the Veil has resolved.
Okay. That's almost scarier than the Seedborn to me.
That's fine.
Consider me confused.
Yeah. But I do know. I mean, you were talking earlier about the importance of having grenades for this stage of the game.
Yeah. I mean, hey, this is what we asked for. People are playing spells. They're making them have it, right?
But also, like, 14 minutes. I don't know, maybe they wanted to try it earlier, but they just couldn't get enough resources together.
We did have the Bowmaster out of TNT, which is now hitting the battlefield. They have Hexproof from blue or black. So that's being recognized at this point. Bowmaster's probably going to ETB hit somebody else at this point. Things are fascinatingly tense at this point in the game. I think Mihai's getting a turn, though. It seems like it. And now the question is, what happens at the end? Now, if I'm trying to do the cheeky Swift Recon thing, now I do believe there was some sort of political conversation that happened, which is maybe where this Veil happened and all that kind of stuff, or TNT is just whiffing on interaction really hard here, which I don't necessarily believe that's the case.
I mean, like, also, there's a world where they're trying to, like, they're trying to get as much stuff out of Austin's hand. And then, like, as soon as they go to end step, while they still have, like, they're still going to be first to get their triggers resolved.
I just think if I'm trying to be cheeky and resolve the Swift Recon for a win, I'm never letting a Veil resolve, though. You know what I mean? Like, fight, because, like, at that point, you're just saying, like, okay, any counterspell you show me wins, right?
No!
Exactly. And this is the most tapped out Austin's ever going to be, because he's about to untap with, like, 30 mana on Mihai's turn, right?
Back to 4
I have a feeling what's going to happen here is that we're going to go to Mihai's turn. He's going to untap. He's going to put an uncountable Zul'Doc on the stack, and all hell's going to break loose. I think someone is going to win with that situation specifically.
No, I think that makes, like, a lot of sense.
Because even then, right, it's one of those situations where if they let the Zul'Doc stick, then Mihai has the ability to crack E-Zone, pump the engine, flash that in, try and cascade over the top, but specifically without that situation here, I think this is essentially going to be the case of, like, Mihai's going to put a win condition on the stack, and it's going to get fought on over the top, and either someone's going to walk away a victor, or they're just going to draw it out by a giant counterspell fight at 20 minutes.
You don't have to cast a snap. My devoted druid never needs. It can be summoning, so it doesn't matter.
So there's a snap uncounterably targeting this devoted druid here, and I believe there's.
Notable about but it's interesting. They're like, oh, I never need to activate. I can just make sure it's always summoning.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I think that was the absolute same. But what I'm hearing from TNT is like, you're saying I'm gonna get another turn. I'm like, I don't think you're gonna make it. There's no time. Even with their extensions in this match, there's 8 minutes left in the round. I can't believe there's any idea that Gage would get another turn after this.
I think this is potentially an example of what we were talking about earlier, of taking game actions that don't directly contribute to a win, but they do directly contribute to the clock.
Yeah.
I don't want to make assumptions about this player, but I do know if I were in this pod, I would be like, declare a target, bro.
It feels like they're just potentially like missing how little time they have available to them, right? Mm-hmm. So it's I would be genuinely very concerned if I was any of these players, because right now no one's winning, right? Like no one's winning this game right now. Austin's putting himself in a really good position, but like he is still stacked out from the Grafdigger's Cage and stuff like that. Like they're making a lot of actions to not lose the game. But if I'm Gage, I don't think you can ever really let that happen. And also, one of the things that I'm trying to do in that situation, if I have Devoted Druid in the battlefield and I know we're trying to do a fight to the death style thing before Mihai's turn, first of all, you can make sure he doesn't get a turn by burying it in the stack like we talked about beforehand. But also, even if I don't have the Swift reconfiguration, a really good way to get the Swift Recon in hand is to create a giant stack in which you are drawing from a 6-study. I know a lot of players who've, in that last turn, have put an Abolisher or a Defense Grid on the stack without a win condition. And the fight over the protection piece has been the actual thing that gets them the win condition. And so they went from having nothing to being like, oh, cool, well, you've drawn me 15 cards in this exchange. I didn't even have it. If you just let the thing stick, I would have passed.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's not an uncommon. In fact, I think it's something that TNT especially is
very
really good at.
Yes.
I mean, I potentially maybe think because I think it's a specialty of Max P. But you're right. It's you're looking at 8 counterspells in hand. You're like, how do I convert this to a win? And then someone goes to cast like an expedition map, and you're like, not on my watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you start this huge stack. That's how you get the reconfig.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what TNT has in hand at this point, because if there was a world to fight over this veil, I just don't think you let any of this happen, because look at Austin's board right now. It's criminal. It's insane. And hypothetically, there's a world where you think the Bowmaster keeps him in check on Mihai's turn, but like, I don't know if it's enough.
Yeah, I also think it's a great example of like, and I say this is someone who has played Progress, and I feel like I'm out of this game. Like I got, just machine gun Kelly to all my creatures away.
But
then like, this player got all his dust. And then now,
Yeah, look at that board. I'm looking at that board. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that ain't dust. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff there that could be dust. You can dust it real quick, but it ain't.
Mayhaps it will be dust once again.
If I could multi-dust right now, we would be, right? I'd be dusting every turn, but
my spell doesn't have multi-dust, it just has kicker. What's Cascade? It's kind of like Horseman. Actually, no, it's actually close to kicker.
It's got dust back.
Dust back. No.
Flash
they
dust.
Never see it coming. It has split dust.
Oh no, not dust split.
No.
All right, we see.
Makes my GA
looks like Austin is midway through passing, I believe. Some crazy. But to be honest, we're working at about 10 FPS here, so it's hard to know.
Sure.
I believe this is Thracios activation's happening, which is where we're currently at.
I expect we may be about to see a lot of those. We might see a lot of those soon.
I'm sorry. Veil of Summer says permanent?
At least a few. Okay,
so
is that a Growing Rites of Itlamok that is also on the battlefield there? Right there?
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah, how do they expect to live through Austin? I'm so confused. He must have just run out of interaction, right? Because, like, there's no way this Veil of Summer resolves in any sort of other reality, right?
I'm very surprised that this has all been allowed to happen. But I mean, I guess they tried to stop it with like the Force of Will.
We're gonna have to interview one of these players at the end to get some clarification, because, yeah, the player audio has been just quiet enough where we're a little unsure as to some of these things that have happened for sure. Yeah.
I'll show you a Veil.
A what?
Veil of Summer.
Oh, there's the Veil from Gage.
Yeah. I just still feel like this is...
Okay.
So it's your trigger, so he can still change it to your Bowmaster because Hexproof is not Shroud.
It's not Shroud.
Oh, I see. There's a SWAT happening for the Bowmaster. So it's the SWAT is happening into it. The Veil of Summer, very notably, does not protect against deflecting SWAT, which is the direction being explained right now.
If you're casting it to protect your follow-up, I understand, but if you're casting it to save your Bowmaster...
Yeah. Players saying if you're casting it to protect your follow-up, totally makes sense. If you're casting it because you think it's going to stop this Bowmaster thing happening, you would be incorrect.
That's so funny. Yeah. I mean, if you're winning here, like, I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you do you, boo.
Yeah.
If you're doing this to, like, stop someone else.
Yeah. Pop off king. Yeah.
Check again.
Yeah, I'm quite confused by the end of this game, if I'm being frank.
Go to 6 and spin.
I really thought that there was no way Austin was going to get away with as much value as he's gotten throughout the course of this turn, but he's snowballing incredibly fast. The only concern I would have here is if he doesn't pass soon, he's not getting a turn, right? And that's not good for him because he's setting himself up to explicitly win pretty aggressively, right?
I think this is a situation, and I realize that this is a conversation that had a lot, and so I don't want to be like a broken record, but I do think this is a situation where, in the same way that Zul'Doc was like, I'm going to liquid metal torque your phantasmal image because I want you to have as little resources as possible, I do think as an opponent, they're like, I need to choke you on time.
Yeah.
Right? Because like there's just big gaps in between game actions, and it's understandable that there's discussions and decisions that need to be made, but also like, in order to make your win, you have to make it to your turn, at least in this situation, and that means that you need people to do stuff. Something needs to happen.
Engine destruction is real right now. There's a reason people are playing things like Revelant Silence. There's a reason that Force of Vigor is at a high that it hasn't been at in years, right? Like, there is such game equity that gets lost by people just taking so many game actions that are not contributing to the win. It is one of the reasons we are seeing such high draws, right?
Yeah.
So, maybe it's not always the best situation to blow up the Ristic into the turbo players, but sometimes you just can't let things get this far, right? And it's a matter of, like, I don't give them enough time to make these game actions because things are just escalating too far. You know, I do really love conversations where you do maintain, I need this person right now. I need them as an ally. I need them in the resources. But if they're going to take away my ability to win the game, which we saw at the beginning of this game, there was a lot of kneecapping. There was a lot of mud wrestling, right? Like that sort of dirty magic that's like, I need to push my plan.
Yeah.
And it felt like as soon as we lost the plot, we've been critically launching themselves towards a draw here. And or Austin might just have it, right? But once again, he's got like a minute.
Yeah.
He's a minute to recognize that he's got literally 28 seconds left in this round.
I know it's like a small thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like the thing that stands out to me is that Austin still has their phantasmal image. They still have their phantasmal image.
Yeah.
I think for me that's a great indication of like, I don't understand why you would like all his dust aboard and then not like
take out the engines there.
But also
right.
like it's something that we talked about a lot. What I do understand, chat, is the fatigue that comes with like if you're gonna take a game action and then a player, both hands, palms, you're like, no, don't do that, and then their voice get loud and they start getting aggressive, and you're like, okay, I have the Darksteel out, like I probably have it anyways, I mean like I've got like 3 or 4 cards. I was thinking for a second.
Eric being pulled away for an impromptu Lumra signing at the current moment. We are ending in a situation here where there are some Thrasios activations being put on the stack, for sure. And we are seeing as they power through those Rastioses. The Hexy Swelter has also hit the board too, so definitely an interesting spot here. I don't think they're getting an extra turn, so it's interesting that this whole thing started about the Seaborn Muse, and yet the Seaborn Muse may not even be slightly relevant at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, you were talking about, like, that's the whole point of, like, grenades.
Yeah.
Is they make everyone go, oh my god, it's a grenade!
A grenade! Yeah, exactly, exactly.
I need this veil to resolve
Yeah.
for my Seedborn.
Yeah.
Breaks fourth wall, winks to camera.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm curious to see what their time extension was, because there's a chance where this game is just critically launching towards a draw with seconds to go, right? So.
My silly little vial, man. I'll shove one to say, sorry.
But Austin's still taking game action, so there's maybe a world where he's just winning this turn. And if he is, fantastic, right? I just thought he was running out of resources, but maybe not?
I mean, there's definitely also something to be said for, like, honestly, I want to be the one taking game action.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, I want it to be my turn.
Yeah.
This game is going win, lose, or draw on my turn. I respect that.
Absolutely. Biomancer's Familiar is also hitting the stack at the current moment after, the Squelcher and all that kind of stuff. So things ain't looking good for the other folks. Passing the turn. Are they able to pass the turn here?
There's a judge there, so they would know.
Beseiju targeting Cradle before Austin's ability to go to Mihai's turn and untap. So, yeah, there's a judge watching the match. I'm assuming their time extension is currently allowing them to be able to go and try to pass that turn. But I believe we talked about on the field, right? Yeah. So how effective the Beseiju technically will be, who's to say, you know?
I'm going to go see if they got a time extension.
Yeah, worth looking into, for sure. The players talking about spinning and grabbing Chain of Vapor here, but Chain of Vapor very specifically does not allow for the bounce of the Itlamok here because it has Veil Summer Protection until the end of turn. Oh, actually, no, the players are correct. The Itlamok was actually cast afterwards, and therefore it is able to be bounced. Yeah. So the Beseiju bounce is appropriate here no matter what because it's colorless, but they're currently debating if there was a Chain of Vapor cast. But I believe because the Itlamok was played post-Veil Summer, the way that interaction works is the protection granted only is granted to things played before, so things that were already on the battlefield.
So, for sake, do you want to spin and see what you get to see?
What happened?
I just wanted to know how it felt to be a Badger Wolf, you know?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, couldn't find anyone.
Oh, sick. Great. Yeah,
but they get to stretch my legs a little bit, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they're still having conversations at end step. I'm very confused as to how... Do you want to maybe text me? Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to reveal this on stream.
I want to run it so hard. I want to run it so bad. It would be so perfect. It would be so perfect in my last game. I would have won. All right. Okay, so we're going to hit the drawing.
No response to that.
Oh, he beat me. Beat me to it.
It's Frotho all over again.
Dang, dude. He double Frothoed me in one day.
Double Frotho.
I don't know how long.
I went to provide commentary at the question. All I got was double Frothoed. Yeah, I'm very fascinated to see how this is going to transpire here because, like, by all accounts, the intent to pass has been interrupted multiple times thereof, but Mihai's about to untap.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing their extension was significant enough where they are allowed to do so. So we're just going to operate on that information until a judge tells us otherwise.
Yeah.
But consider me surprised.
Yeah.
But I think I've been saying that for the past 20 minutes.
Yeah. This is like so good for Austin.
Yeah, absolutely. And very notably, what's very smart about what's happening right now is they're specifically starting to take game actions before Mihai gets the draw step. Because as soon as Zuladak is in hand, then the E-zone lines start to become online, right? But we are very specifically unable to have that going. There's an uncounterable Born Upon the Wind on the stack. I have a feeling I know what's happening next. The Squelcher is extremely changing the dynamic in the situation. Yeah, there's an active Ristic. Yeah, there's all those things, but like breaking in any way but Austin's favor here are really, really not likely. Yeah, definitely interesting dynamic here. Punchy is at the table watching. Okay, so there is a judge at the table watching, so they must have the appropriate extension to have been able to get through this next turn cycle. So, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a meaningful lesson for all of us that even if it was a small time extension, you're still big enough to get the job done. And that's something I'm really going to take away from this.
Yeah. I also think, like, you really did say it, man. Like, I genuinely think liquid metal coating not blowing up that phantasmal image is the reason Austin's about to win this game.
Yeah, I see it as like a tide shift. You know?
Yeah,
like you got your foot on someone's throat, and they're like, whoa. You can have your foot on my neck, but not the pinky toe. I draw the line there.
E-zone crack is happening for Mihai here. With the Born still on the stack. But then Austin is cracking his E-zone in response.
Yeah.
Which I think he wins that fight.
I believe they tapped the staff to put the Zul'Doc in hand.
Oh, very smart. Very smart. Yeah, absolutely fantastic sequencing there. Good job, Mihai. So they have an E-zone active on Austin's turn, but Mihai, as the E-zone resolves, is the first person with priority, right? So he is activating the ability to bounce the Ingenuity engine here with this. So I'm very interested to see how the next couple minutes are going to transpire. It's going to be tense. It's going to be intense, and it's going to be buck wild, as the youth say.
Yeah.
All right, we have 2 artifacts revealed. We have a land being sacrificed. Not really sure what land is being sacked at the current moment. Oh, is it Inventor's Fair?
Oh, is that Urza's Liberator?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I think that is Urza's Liberator. Yeah.
They're big dog.
And this is happening, I think, in response to the E-zone crack. That's crazy.
That's so fun.
Yeah. If I'm Gage here, I am absolutely letting them duke it out, because every single piece of interaction that's used at this point is another piece that's going to get him closer to just Swift Recon cheesing. Although, no, it didn't survive, did it? Did it get snapped? I forget now, actually.
There was a snap on the stack. I believe they cast a Veil in response. And also, there's the question of how much mana they hold up.
Yeah. I think that's the Devoted Druid there on the battlefield, but I could be mistaken.
There's Mind Break Trap.
Yeah. And this goes back to that conversation you were having a couple minutes ago about engines, right? Like, we are at a position here where I just think that the engines are going to power through this 20 minutes. It's going to be very, very hard for anyone to really get through when there's a Ristic on every interaction. Even if Mihai was able to play Zul'Doc and play these cascades and just vomit value onto the field, every single one of these things is triggering a Ristic. It's triggering an Esper the first time. There's a Fairy Mastermind on the battlefield. Also, Austin has 17 billion mana. They're building a stack currently, right? Like, there's no way this gets unburied, right?
Yeah.
And I really think that's what this comes back to at the end of the day. It was just like players were allowed to take too many game actions.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough, as I said, like mud wrestling, right? It's this type of game that we refer to where everyone keeps everyone else low resource, where it's, we want these high value games where everyone's going spell on spell on spell on spell. And this is great Magic, right? I love that we're watching this right now. But at the same time, I feel sad because these players aren't walking away with a win. They chose to play a, air quote, smarter game, but the smarter game is going to lead to a draw, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a great example of, like, these players are playing like it's top.
Yes.
This, I think that if this were an untimed round, I would have, like,
agreed.
way less, like...
This is a 3.5 hour match.
Yeah.
I really think it is. And I think things look a lot different in that situation here. But unfortunately, it's hard to look at the records that they're walking into this round with, some of them being 1-1-3. 113, 113, 104, and not recognize like this seems like a trapping that they've been falling into. You know, like players who are just getting stuck in these pods that are just everyone's making intelligent game actions. No one's making big, foolish decisions. But when we're looking at things from a macro sense, right, which is, you know, sometimes the incorrect play is objectively correct, right? The last tournament I was at, I remember very specifically, I was playing Tivit, and I knew I had to be able to win the game. I couldn't power through Ragisha with 6 counterspells, and I literally touched the Spirit Realm with my own Curse Totem with an active creature combo on board because I needed them to duke it out for a chance for me to ever untap it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I felt awful about it. I literally took 2 grenades, threw in the pod, and I was like, you guys have fun. I have an Oracle counterspell and 1 Tainted Pact. I have to figure it out from here, right? But it was one of those situations where
this one's for me.
3 minutes left. I hit macro, and I was like, I know where we're at. I cannot win. It's one of those choices you have to make that like things get crazy. Things can get very intense, and
get these spells out of Ragisha's hand. Creature combo, get in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if we can get our stream friends to see if we can get an idea of how much time we have left.
Now I have
uncounterable.
Yeah, my only 2 helpers right now would be that.
Because I think knowing how long these players have in this match right now is really going to color this interaction. Now, I will say, like, I didn't feel like they started that much later than everybody else, right? So I was a little bit confused to see that they didn't hit the timer when everyone else did. So it's going to be very interesting how this is going to go.
I do know, I do believe there was at least 1 judge call.
True.
So it's possible.
Yeah.
It's not unimaginable at all that they just would have gotten like a standard 2-minute time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it didn't seem like it was anything super backbreaking, but yeah, it definitely seems good.
Yeah.
Confirmed. I believe we do have a turtle soup that just made top 40.
It's just, I mean, you talk about this like macro view, and so it's really interesting to view it from this kind of like philosophical perspective of like what's going to cause you to lose. And so these are like, you know, Thassa's Decon, you could lose to that. Infinite Thrasios activations, you could definitely lose to that.
Yeah.
What about 13 Thrasios activations? How long do they take to resolve? I mean, these spells need to be countered. You've got counter spells in your library. You know, judge they're slow playing. What? I have to scribe to the bottom. I have to make sure that I sequence correctly because I have like, if I sequence it correctly, I'm going to miss out on 2 or 3 spins, and that's 2 or 3 potentials for a counter spell.
Yeah, and it's tough there, right? Because at the same time, like you're taking those game actions, and it's like, is it increasing my chance of winning the game, or is it increasing me not losing? Right? It's like, how much do these players want to walk away with their records? And to be clear, like if I'm in their position, I'm going to play my game as hard as possible. And once again, I'm not going to give a player a win, right? Mm-hmm. Like if there's a person who walks out of our pod with the win, it's going to be the person who won the pod.
Absolutely.
You know? Does it suck if, for example, you know, 3 spells down is an Oracle and it's just a matter of time and they are winning deterministically and everyone's out of gas? That's a situation I think I treat a little bit differently, right? Yeah. But in a situation like this where there is legitimately cards being drawn, if I'm TNT, I'm 1 card away from winning this game because we just got confirmation that Devoted Druid is still on the battlefield. Yep. So we're looking at a situation here where he is 1 card away from being able to go, I really appreciate everything you guys are doing, and I love this big stack battle that's going on. What if I just made infinite green mana, right? We are moments, seconds, thoughts away from this. Did get confirmation. I believe the players have till plus 26.
Oh.
So they had a 6-minute extension going into this. They're at 13 minutes.
Okay.
So they have 13 minutes to try and navigate that, what we're seeing on our screen, what you're seeing on your screen at home. And to be honest, I'm not optimistic. I'm not. But I've seen crazier.
Yeah.
I have. I mean, we saw the Seaborn use yourself. We didn't think that was going to happen either. Yeah,
we saw Darksteel into all. I mean, like crazier things have happened.
Yeah. You remember when everything was dust?
Yeah. It was sad, but then it got better, but then it got a lot worse. I'm still trying to decide how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too.
Yeah, I am. I am impressed though. Like we said, it's the the fact that this is a Swiss game does kind of like muddy the waters of the quality of like game actions to a degree. I do think all these players for the most part are playing to their outs very effectively, and they're taking game actions that optimize at the very least their ability to not lose immediately right out on the stack. But also, you talk about it like the biggest opponent increasingly is becoming like the clock, and I can't help but think back to how all of these players very willingly were talking for a very long time earlier in the round.
Absolutely.
And so that's a lesson I'm taking away, is sometimes I forget to pay attention to the clock until I'm already in time. But if I know that like I'm playing a control list and my game plan is to try and risk draw my way into like a victory.
After that first half hour, I'm very indicative of folks being like, hey guys, 50 minutes left, we gotta start moving a little bit faster. 20 minutes left, we gotta start moving a lot faster, right? Like those timers, I do it all the time because genuinely it's situations like this where like once again, no one's being foolish, no one's being an ass about time, right? It's just people who are playing their game, but their game's taking a while.
Yeah, but also like, I don't know, you're playing like a 3-color deck, you can shortcut the fetch.
Exactly.
And so stuff like that, it's surprising how much it adds up.
Yeah, it does. And we're in a situation here where we love seeing like high intensity games here, right? But it's also at the cost of these players' chances of winning.
Okay. There's the infinite green mana.
And you know what's really interesting here is that I think we're in a position where we're seeing like none of these players are losing to schoolify it, right? They're not losing because of freshman year mistakes.
Nope.
They're not even losing because of junior year mistakes.
No.
These are senior year mistakes at a 260-person tournament where the player quality is extremely high.
Yeah.
They're losing because not anyone was foolish here. They're losing because we're dealing with master level concepts that they are trying to navigate. And losing is even a dramatic word because they're just not winning. Right? And even TNT here, playing to their outs, trying to make infinite green mana in response. Win over this stack here, trying to present a win that their opponents cannot deal with. But at the end of the day, we don't know if that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
I'm trying to extra plug in. The lobby's getting a little loud here as players are funneling out of the event of their last round. Yeah.
Yeah. Players are talking about what they are and aren't able to shortcut, which is a very relevant discussion for a time such as this.
So players are currently actively talking about the speed in which they're activating these Thrasios activations, right? Definitely, interesting here for sure.
I'm gonna keep going until
Oh, okay. So it seems like Austin does have a win on the stack. I guess I'm missing. Where's the infinite coming from?
What? Oh, sorry.
So it just seems like we have infinite mana.
All the cards
I don't think I have infinite green.
put them on play. Sure.
So the players are attempting to actually help Austin and allow him to put a number of activations on the stack equal to drawing through a significant portion of their deck.
That's not actually.
Seems like players are not willing to concede at this point.
Yeah. Because you're like, if we're helping them resolve infinite mana, isn't that like concession territory?
It seems like some folks are specifically willing to assist them in this moment, but seems like not everyone is on that same level, which it does make sense, right? Especially when you have to consider the fact that their out right now is the Fairy Mastermind, right? That's how they're planning on killing people. So if they can't execute that loop, I mean, at the end of the day,
I think it's equally fair to say, I want to go home.
Yeah.
As well as to say, I do not want to go softly and have good night.
Yeah, in this situation here, right, we talked about this earlier. If they actually don't have outs here, if they could not realistically beat someone with infinite mana and a Hexing Squelcher, this is where I would concede.
Yeah.
Because this person is attempting to win, and any other game action is effectively, if we're being honest, stalling, right, to walk away with the draw here. So there needs to be a real reason right now why this is any sort of conversation with this type of thing, right? I'm definitely very curious as to this payoff right now.
Yeah.
Cord for 2 is happening, getting a Boro. I thought Infinite Mana was already being proposed, I guess, but I guess not.
It was Infinite Green, now they switched over.
Infinite Green Mana, now it's being filtered. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Cool. There's the Boro. Then I will invasion for 3.
Invasion for 3 after the Aboro, get Ewit. Now they're about to propose an Eternal Witness loop. I'm assuming getting some sort of damage spell where they're able to loop it over and over again. I think Austin takes it here after very, very nail-biter, very, very much situation where...
That's wild. Yeah, I thought TNT...
5.5 minutes. 5.5 minutes left in this round. All the other players are hitting that natural 20-minute extension, but... very surprised by the course of events. TNT not converting here. Oh, yeah. Vibrance is the loop.
Vibrance is the loop.
And loop Vibrance, bounce that over and over again, and they're able to deal 3 damage to your opponents repeatedly at instant speed. So that's what our win con is here. I would be a little confused as to why folks...
I think they forgot that Ewit is a human.
Ewit is a human, yes. That is definitely vaguely more problematic, for sure. Yeah.
Because it can't be that it's in graveyards, because Invasion sees graveyard.
Yeah, I'm still a little confused as to why this game is still being played, to be honest. And if someone has outs, fantastic. We're missing something here, right? But like,
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like you basically have it. You've got enough time.
Yeah.
I just need to see it.
Yeah.
Take
just make sure
a
you
minute.
can do it.
Take the 2 minutes. It's the end of the tournament for me.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, just.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show it. That's so fair.
Yeah.
Judge, my opponent didn't shuffle.
Yeah. I mean, but Austin's still not declaring a win here. ETB target nothing, he said. And he asked if he has to target something. I'm quite confused at what's happening, but...
I mean, I know. If I went to see it, I'd also feel very comfortable saying, while you're tutoring, can you show me that you have the cards in your library?
Yeah. As I said, like, what is necessarily, like, if the win is happening, what's happening, right? Like, yeah.
I don't think there's any split-second spells that we're playing around.
Is something in exile, maybe? Is that why? Yeah. What's I'm wondering what the holdup is. Yeah.
We're not an Angel's Great Turret, but it's not like they're gonna draw it.
There we go.
Right.
That's what I'm missing here. My easel. Awesome.
Oh, I see what's happening here. The specific configuration of what's happening is the only flash effects remaining were buried on the stack. So he was trying to find a situation where he could clear everything else so that his emergent zone is the top of the stack so that he can start proposing the infinite loop, because without that, there is no way. Recognizing the vibrance here, now we are starting to see the position. Okay, that makes way more sense. It is specifically you are out of instant speed effects that would allow you to be able to win the game in this situation here, which makes perfect sense.
They need like creatures.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially if it's like a even vibrance line.
Yeah. He got there. Got there. Wow.
Right.
That was close. I want to check the timer right now. We are looking at 2.5 minutes remaining. Talk about a nail biter. Talk about a nail biter. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's
crazy.
Impressive. I mean, hats off to them. It's hard to win a game that late in time.
Yeah. We are about to. I don't know if we have it posted right now. There's how many pods still actively playing right now?
I mean, it can't be that many. We had a 6-minute time extension.
Yeah, exactly. A 6-minute time extension. I think within moments here, they're about to push the top 40. So far, I've yet to see a pod that is still playing. I believe that may have been the last pod. I mean, I'm only at table 40 here, hypothetically speaking, so who's to say? We're going to find out. All pods are done, according to the website, so...
We'll get standings here soon. Since there's an event tomorrow, they're going to publish standings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is very good. I've been events where, like, they wait till after publish standings until game 2.
Yeah.
But then players don't know what time they need to wake up.
Standings, I believe, are up, my friends. At the end of Swiss, we have Mr. Waffleman at top. First seat. Top 8 is Evan Pierce, Bruno Gino Griffiths, Enrico White, SLK Luke, Christopher Coingsfield, I believe, Derek NG, Tanya Kroom, and Rye. Congrats to our players. I do feel bad for the 16-point player who is 9th place, who then now has to go play the quarterfinals. That is tough.
Excuse me, Ben. Get this off of
okay, it looks like guys made it. Trooper made it in.
Oh. Amazing.
Sam Black made it.
Amazing.
Zach Adler made it. Oh, guys. We are going to have some fantastic games tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching the game for us today. Thank you so much to everyone who helped make the stream happen. If you enjoyed watching today, you're going to love tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you think this was a nail biter, better take some carotene vitamins because you're going to be chewing them off.
Wait until they have to win. No, thank you all so much for tuning in today. Once again, this is a tournament for an amazing cause. We are here at Quest for a Cause 10K, benefiting so many amazing people in our community. There is the link still featured on our page here in front of us. I believe, is the auction still live, do you know?
I believe so, but if
we can go check that right now. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll make sure that we get some updated information for you. Also, I know that they've been, they're really good about like social media posts and stuff like that. And honestly, like, they're doing so many things well. That even Kyle, who is well known for saying no to stuff. No, you can't have that Red Elemental Quest. No, you can't have that Besage You. You know what he says to donate to the quest? He says, yeah.
Yes, and. We have so many amazing folks out here. Very excited to see this top 40 breakdown. We have our top 8 moving right to top 16 for just a refresher on the structure. Then the bottom 32 of the top 40 will battle it out in 8 pods to fill in those last 8 top 16 slots. Then we'll have our semis, then we'll have our finals, and we will crown the champion for Quest for a Cause right here in the morning. Make sure to tune in, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching.
And we did get confirmation. Auctions are live till 11 p.m. All right, so at the very least, I'm going to be staying up that late.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and come back tomorrow.
Peace.
But like, on cam, full cam, full nude. Full nude on cam. 13? 13? Fuck, yes. Good work. What'd you guys do? It's a great play from him. It looks like it's just you and Nick. Fucking Drew. I should start making my way up to Washington again. Why would I do that? My opponent went to the European game. That's not my opponent. That's like 40 times. What'd you say? I love it. My opponent wanted to take a game action, and I felt judged like 4 times. But like, nobody, like we had a conversation here like at the beginning, like somebody will, but we are not drawing this game. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, we didn't want to do that. We forced Drew to time. Yeah. We forced Drew to time. It was bad. You're like 20. It's already up. Woo! The cutoff was 12. 12 with 20. So, my first loss was getting completely stomped in my winning end, so. I got rocked for really bad. I understand why people hate the deck now. He was like, I'm not winning. I'm gonna pass. I'm just gonna make value and pass. And it's like,